Welcome, everyone. This is your friend, the DN WhatIf, here with another exciting fanfiction. Today, we're diving into the story of what if Deku's friend was forced into villainy? If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more fanfiction content just like this. Now, let's get started with the fanfic. Leave me alone. Are you scared? So annoying. Of course she is. She's a quirkless, defenseless loser, right? I had enough. I turned around. Do you guys have no life or something? Go waste your time on something else. One of the bullies tried to punch me. I caught the punch and threw him on the ground. What were you trying? The other bully helped him up. Let's go. The two boys walked away. I hope he doesn't come to school tomorrow. Next day, I walked to school as normal when I saw a few people enter an abandoned building. Wasn't that bar closed? I decided to look at it after school. Once I entered the classroom, I wondered what everyone was talking about. I walked towards Midoriya to ask if he knows what they're talking about. Hey Izuku, oh hi Akai. Do you know what everyone is talking about? I asked. You don't know? Yesterday that new boy got hit by a car. I didn't mean this to happen with him. I hope he doesn't come to school tomorrow. After school, I walked back home and stopped close to the abandoned building. I stood behind the corner of a nearby wall and waited for someone to enter. I waited for a while and someone walked towards the building. I could see a man in a black hoodie. He held the doorknob with 4 fingers and suddenly looked my direction. I turned around again, hiding behind the wall. Is this wrong? Am I being a creep? Maybe he is a villain? No, Wait, he could be a villain. But I can't just assume he is a villain because he's entering an abandoned building? Let's just hope nothing too awkward is going to happen. I turned around again and looked at the building and nobody was there. He probably entered the building already. I reached for my backpack to go home, but instead of going home, something else happened. As soon as I felt someone touching my neck, I grabbed my pocket knife. Don't move or I'll kill you. Well, I guess I can assume he is a villain. Okay, I put the knife back in my pocket. Kurojiri, what is he calling someone or something? A warp gate appeared and he pushed me in. I guess we were in the bar. He let go for a second and I immediately grabbed my knife and hid it under my sleeve. Why did you bring a random girl? Someone said. This random girl was watching while I was entering the base. He sounded set off. Excuse me, this random girl also has a name. They all looked at me. I got the attention now. And what may your name be? Asked a man behind the bar. His head looked similar to the warp gate from before. Akai Hono. The man behind me let go and pushed me away. I don't care what her name is. What were you doing outside? Tamura Shigaraki. Calm down. So that's his name, Tamura Shigaraki? I was just curious. I thought this place was abandoned. You see, Shigaraki, you needlessly involved someone in this. The guy at the back of the room started talking again. What are we gonna do now she knows about it? Shigaraki looked my direction and tried attacking. I pulled out my knife and tried counterattacking him. Enough, you two. The warp gate guy had placed warp gates at our hands that opened somewhere else in the room. I pulled my hand back and put my knife back in my pocket. I guess I'm not getting killed? Shigaraki pulled his hands back. Then what else would you suggest? Maybe we could use someone new. What, they're going to recruit me or something? After explaining the whole thing they were doing, I was forced to join them or else they would make me regret the decision. And I guess I'm a villain now. I'm trying to become a hero in the future, but I have no quirk. Should I agree? I'm not able to tell anyone about it, so I guess it will be a secret. A few months later. So, as third-year students, it's time to think seriously about your futures and what you want to do with your lives. I could pass out some career aptitude tests, but why bother? I know you all want to go to the hero track. Everyone cheered. Yes, you've got some very impressive quirks, but no power usage allowed at school. Get a hold of yourselves. Hey teach, don't lump me in with this bunch of losers. I'm the real deal, but these guys are lucky to end up as some sidekicks. You think you're better than US Katsuki? Let's go, I'll take you all on. You've got some impressive test results. Maybe you will get into UA High. He's gonna try for the national school? That school has an 0.2 exception rate. That's why it's the only place worthy of me. He stood on his desk. I aced all of the mock tests. I'm the only one on this school that has a chance at getting in. I'll end up more popular than All Might himself. And be the richest hero of all time. People all across the world will know who I am. And it all starts with UA High. Oh yeah, Midoriya and Hono, don't you want to go to UA too? And here it comes. Midoriya and Hono. You're kidding, right? There's no way of getting in the hero course without a quirk. They got rid of that rule. We can be the first, don't make it any worse, Izuku. Bakugou started acting like a child again, and Izuku was being terrorized by him. After school. Bye Izuku. Bye Akai. I left the classroom in a hurry knowing poor Izuku is going to be blown up by Bakugou. I can't stay any longer, sorry Izuku. I left the school and headed towards the base. I entered the room and greeted Kurogiri. Hi. Hello Hono. I put my backpack on a seat. What did you want to talk about? Since you are going to UA, you'll need a quirk, Shigaraki said. What? That isn't possible, right? What? Do you mean I'm getting a quirk? You heard me right? Kurogiri sent her. What? Send me where? Are they talking about all for one? They probably do, I assume. A warp gate appeared under my feet. Weo. I looked around, it was almost too dark to see. Hello Akai Hono. I turned around, all for one. I walked towards him as the room started to become more visible. I heard something about a quirk. About that, come closer. I got closer and I could see a lot of machines and tubes attached to the man. The quirk I'm about to give you is called Firefold. It makes the user immune to high temperatures, fire, and smoke. This quirk allows you to generate fire from a source and shape it in any form and gives you the ability to turn the flames into solid objects. I haven't used the quirk before, so you'll have to figure the rest out yourself. He put his hand on my head and a sharp pain appeared in my head. He let go and the pain disappeared. I got teleported back and I asked myself if that just happened. I entered the training room behind the bar. It was an empty room with a few objects. I need a source to create fire, huh? I looked around to find a source. Oh, this lamp could work, right? I put my hand in front of the lamp and focused on the light and heat it was creating. I hope this will work. I closed my eyes and opened them when I saw small flames in the palm of my hand. This is awesome. But I got this quirk in the wrong way. At least I can use this to become a hero in the future. The rest of the league thinks I hate heroes now, but I just pretend I do so I don't get killed. I'm not killing people, I'm only giving the league information and stuff about certain things. I guess it still counts as a crime to help villains. But I try to keep things small. After trying out my new quirk, I decided to go back home. At home, I opened the door and walked towards my room to find out my parents arrived home early. Akai, welcome home. I hugged her and Dad. It's been weeks since the last time I saw them. Dad and I are sorry we were away for so long. Meanwhile, Dad was talking to someone on the phone and had to leave again. It's okay, someone needs to earn the money, right? Since I was a toddler, my parents would travel to the US for work. I don't exactly know what they do, but they work for a support gear company. How long will you and Dad stay here? We arrived early, so I guess we can stay for about 2 days? Normally they don't stay long, so this is already a lot. I'm just glad you're here. I forgot to tell them. Oh, and Mom, I finally have a quirk. She gave me a surprised, proud look. You can tell me everything while we cook dinner. The UA exams were starting in 10 months, so I need to master my quirk before. So every day after school I went to the base to train, of course outside, otherwise I would have burned the base down by now. And I'm not the only one who's preparing for the UA exams. School. Mutter. Izuku is muttering again. Everyone looked very concerned and the teacher had to remind him he needed to know something to get in UA. I started training my quirk more and I started to understand it. I tried to reach the limit. I could make blue flames for a few seconds, but if I'd hold it for too long my arm will hurt. I tried focusing the heat in one hand and I was able to melt metal without even using the flames. And because I was immune to burns and high temperatures, I could touch the melted metal. And I don't necessarily need a lamp, I just need something like sparkles or just sunshine. I also noticed my powers are weaker during the night or when it's very dark. And finally, the day came. February 26th, 8:40 a.m. I was walking to the entrance exam location and I saw Izuku and Bakugou entering. Should I say hi? I waved at him and he waved back. I entered the building. I was sitting next to Izuku and Bakugou when Present Mike started talking. Oh, Midoriya is fanboying again. I see, so they're splitting us up so we can't work with any of our friends? Yeah, you're right. Get your eyes off my card. I guess I'm going to C. At Battle Center C. Okay, it's time to use your quirk and get through that exam. Because otherwise you'll get killed, and you don't want to get killed, do you? So you're gonna go in there and incinerate these robots. The door opened, used my fire to fly above everyone else. This way I can easily search for robots and I can even attack from here. I think I have about maybe 50 points. The robots were quite easy to melt. Boom, what was that? I saw a giant robot appearing in the middle of the battle center. The 0-pointer, huh? I saw everyone run away from the faux villain. Wait, people are stuck under the rubble. I flew towards the gigantic robot. I tried to gather just a little more energy from explosions to make one blast. Now, the flames pushed me back, but I used my feet to stabilize. The metal started getting an orange glow and exploded. I absorbed the explosions and heat from the robot. That went pretty well, right? This quirk is amazing. Time's up. I landed on the ground again. When I reached the ground, I heard everyone talking. Wow, what an amazing quirk. That blast was enormous. I helped the people under the rubble to get up and the exam was over. 1 week later. My mom could stay home today, but my dad was still at work, but that's just fine. My dad is always busy. Akai, you got a letter. She gave me the letter from you. This is it. I passed the exam. Wait, All Might? As soon as I knew my results, I texted Izuku. And because All Might's going to be a teacher at UA, I had to tell the league, otherwise they would find out later and question why I didn't say anything. And I don't want any life-threatening villain trouble. Izuku. Me. Hey Izuku, did you pass the exam? Izuku. Yeah, you? Me. I hope we'll go to the same class. Smiley face. Izuku. Oh, I heard you have an amazing quirk now. Me. Oh yeah, my quirk started showing a couple of months ago. I could say the same for you. Izuku. Oh yeah, it checks by. Me. Oh, see you later. For you. Today I started my first day at UA High. I walked through the hallway looking for the door with 1A. There it is. I could see Izuku with another girl at the door. Hi. Oh, hi Akai, you two know each other? Yeah, we were in the same class in middle school. I'm Akai Hono. I'm Achiko Uraraka, nice to meet you. She seemed very excited. I wonder how our teacher will be like. I can't wait to meet everybody. If you're just here to make friends, then pack up your stuff now. We turned around and saw someone in a yellow sleeping bag. Welcome to UA's hero course. I wondered if he was our teacher. If he is, he must be a pro hero. Hello, I'm Shoyuta Aizawa, your teacher. All right, let's get to it. Put these on and head outside. What, a quirk assessment test? Yay, a test on the first day, how nice. But orientation? We're gonna miss it. What a nice homeroom teacher. He asked Bakugou to throw the softball with his quirk. He sent the ball flying with multiple explosions. Izuku looked traumatized. Wow, 705 meters, are you kidding me? You have 3 years here to become a hero? You think it's all gonna be games and playtime? Idiots, today you'll compete in 8 physical tests to gauge your potential. Whoever comes in last has none and will be expelled immediately. You can't send someone of us home. I mean, we just got here. And after that, we started the tests. I ran and used my fire to increase my speed similar to Bakugou, 4.1 seconds. Test 2 was grip strength. I did pretty well, 90 kilograms. This quirk also increased my strength. Test 3, standing long jump. I flew over the sand. Test 4, repeated side steps. I did okay. Test 5 was the ball throw. Uraraka had infinity, Bakugou still thought Izuku was quirkless, but he has a quirk now. But his quirk was kind of weird. He hurt himself if he used his quirk. Aizawa-sensei was talking to Izuku like he did something wrong. And while everyone's attention was on Izuku, I saw All Might behind the corner of the wall. I just pretend I did not see that. I was wondering why he was here. Everyone was looking at how Izuku was throwing the ball while no one noticed All Might. And Bakugou began acting like a child again in front of everyone, but he was stopped by Aizawa-sensei. And we continued the tests. Eventually, we had the results. Number 4, I did pretty well. I read the list, and at the end of the list was Izuku. And I was lying. No one is going home. That was just a rational deception to make sure you gave it your all. Everyone looked surprised except for a few people. And school was over. Uraraka and I walked together with Ida and Izuku to the station. At the base. So All Might is a teacher now, huh? You didn't hear what I said? I saw him myself. Shigaraki scratched his neck. What else? Our homeroom teacher is Eraserhead. He can cancel quirks just by looking at you. And I don't know, what do you want to know? I asked Shigaraki. We are planning to attack UA, but we need you to find a good place. I need to plan an attack? Okay, give me some time, I'll tell you. Shigaraki interrupted. Tomorrow. Tomorrow? Ugh, fine. Next day afternoon. I am here. Coming through the door like a hero. Izuku is gonna fanboy. I can't believe it's really All Might. So he is a teacher. This year is gonna be totally awesome. No one noticed him yesterday? Hey, look, is he wearing his Silver Age costume? Welcome to the most important class of UA High. Think of it as heroing. But one of the main things a hero must do is looking good. We had to put on our costumes and go to the training area. Now shall we get started, you bunch of newbies? For this training exercise, we will be splitting good guys and bad guys and fight 2-on-2 indoor battles. I got in Team I with the tail guy. I think his name is Ojiro or something. The first battle was Uraraka and Izuku versus Bakugou and Ida. After the big battle, Ojiro and I were versus Todoroki and the octopus guy. I already knew Shoto's quirk, and Ojiro's quirk was kinda obvious. I know Shoto since I don't even remember. Our mothers were close friends, so we often played together, but when Shoto's mother got in the hospital, we visited them less often. Eventually, I could barely see Shoto. Okay, so Todoroki is probably freezing the whole place since he always does that, so I'm going to use my quirk to stop the ice from reaching us. You seem to know him already. Oh, yeah, we were friends when we were little. I'm going you protect the weapon while I'm gone. I made the walls and floor hot enough to melt his ice, freeze the place already. I saw ice coming and it stopped when it hit the hot border I created. I used my fire to melt all the excess ice. I heard someone walk up the stairs and I walked towards the sound as I melted the ice. Hi Shoto, haven't seen you in a while. Akai? Wait, they are on time, right? That means I need to slow him down. You have a quirk too? Yep, and it's a little like your other half. I'll talk later. He sent ice in my way. I melt it with one hand. Is that everything you've got? The other guy from Shoto's team asked him what he should do. While he was distracted, I counterattacked him. He tried blocking it and got pushed back. He hit a wall that was still hot and burned his right arm. You're still only using your right side, huh? I surrounded him in the fire and his attacks failed. I used the capture tape and Todoroki was out. Hey Hono, are you okay? I answered, yes, I captured Todoroki. That's fast. What do we do now? We find the octopus guy and capture him too. I heard him walking. I got nearer Ojiro and saw the octopus guy. Ojiro now. Ojiro attacked him from the back and I trapped him in flames and made the flames solid. I just made walls out of my flames. That's useful. Ojiro tape. We captured the Chiros. The villain team wins. After the other battles finished, All Might left. Wow, now that is a hero. I'll never be able to run that fast. I wonder how Izuku is. Later. Izuku finally came back. Hi Izuku. I said, hey, it's Midoriya. Man, I didn't know what you were saying during the match, but you were all fired up, huh? They were forming a wall around Izuku. Meanwhile, Ida was trying to create order. Izuku asked where Bakugou was and went looking for him. I slipped through the crowd and followed Izuku and hid behind one of the pillars. Am I hearing this right? Izuku got his quirk from someone else too? All Might came back. Oh well, time to leave. I walked back to the class and saw Shoto again. Hey Shoto. Huh. I wanted to ask you if you're okay. You were burned by me. I'm so stupid you don't have to remind him. Oh, recovery girl fixed it? Oh well, I'm glad you're okay. He walked away again and the day was over. Oh shit, I forgot I needed information. I searched for a file with some planning or something and I found it. I quickly took a picture and left the room. I sent the picture to Shigaraki. Next day. The school was surrounded by people from the media since they found out All Might became a teacher at UA. I tried to ignore it and walked towards the class. Decent work on the combat training from yesterday, guys. I saw the videos of each and went over each result. He started giving advice to people. Let's get down to business. Our first task will decide our future. Is it another quirk test? You all need to pick a class representative. Oh cool, just normal school stuff? People started shouting and promoting themselves. Ida suggested doing an election. It is the best way, right, sensei? Just get it over with, just finish before my nap is over. Election results. Bakugou started shouting and yelling again because Izuku got the most votes, and Ida just looked sad. Alright, the class rep is Midoriya, the deputy is Yaoyorozu. Are really me? This might be not that bad. Punch. It's always so crowded in here. That's because students in the support management and hero courses all share the same cafeteria. This rice is delicious. Guys, about the class rep thing, I don't think I'm qualified. Izuku looked down. Uraraka responded while enjoying her delicious food. Sure you are. You'll be great. I think you'll be a great rep. I took another bite of rice. Ida explained, your courage and quick thinking under stress help make you a worthy leader, not to mention the strength you demonstrate. Those were the reasons I voted for you at least. You were one of the three? Didn't you wanted the rep part badly? I mean, you look like the part because of the glasses. Serving the Ida family's hero agency has taught me that much. Agency, hold on, what does your family do? Oh, it's nothing. You know, I've been wondering something about you. Admitted Ida, you're filthy rich? Uraraka said. I was afraid people would treat me differently if they knew about my family. Explaining A/N. Sorry, I'm too lazy. Warning, level 3 security breach. All students please evacuate the building. What's a level 3 security breach? It means someone managed to get past the school's barrier. This hasn't happened in my 3 years here. We should get going. We all got stuck in the hallway, and no one knew what was going on, but I do. Ida caught the attention of everyone. Listen up, everything is okay. It's JG, the media outside, it's absolutely nothing to worry about, everything's fine. We're UA students, we need to remain calm and prove we're the best of the best. The police arrived and Ida managed to stop the panic. After that, we all returned to the classroom. In the classroom. Okay, so we need to figure out who the other class. But first there's something I want to say. I thought a lot about this and I think that Tenya Ida should be our class REP. Ida looked surprised. He was able to get all our attention and get in line. So I believe he should be the one leading our class from now on. The others agreed and shared opinions. This is a waste of time, I don't care who the rep is. Just hurry up, and he lied down in his sleeping bag. Ida stood up. If Midoriya is nominating me for this job, I humbly accept. Today's training will be a little bit different. Seems like we're getting attacked. We put on our hero suits and entered the bus. On the bus, I closed my eyes and tried to sleep, but of course, that didn't happen. I ended up listening to the conversations that were made. Tsu talked to Izuku about his quirk and how it looked a lot like All Might's quirk. I mean, if you connect the facts, Shigaraki talked about how All Might weakened, and Izuku admitted he got his quirk from someone else. So there's a chance Izuku got the quirk from All Might. Since Izuku injures himself when he uses the quirk, it could be that he still needs to get used to it. Well, if any of our classmates have real pro quirks, it's Todoroki, Hono, and Bakugou. Tsu commented on Bakugou's behavior and he started yelling again. And we arrived. In the USJ. Hello everyone, I've been waiting for you, 13 said. Skip to after speech. The clock is ticking, we should get started. Excellent. Before we begin, let me just say one thing, well, maybe two things, possibly three. We get it. Listen carefully, I'm sure you're aware that I have a powerful quirk, it's called Black Hole. I can use it to SCK up anything and turn it into dust. Yeah, you have used Black Hole to save people from all kinds of disasters before, haven't you? That's true, but my quirk could also very easily be used to kill, 13 said. She continued, some of you also have powers that could be dangerous. In our superhuman society, all quirks are certified. Please don't forget that if you lose focus or make the wrong move, your powers can be deadly. Even if you're doing something virtuous like rescuing someone. Today you will be learning to use your quirks to save other lives. You won't be using your powers to attack enemies or each other. Only to help. After all, that's what being a hero is all about. Ensuring the safety of others. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much for listening. 13 bowed and everyone cheered. Right now that that's over, the lights in the building flickered. They finally came. A warp gate appeared and out of it came Shigaraki. Lots of other villains came out of Kurogiri's warp gate. Aizawa-sensei put on his goggles. Those villains are real. I got behind everyone and escaped through a warp gate. I got in the base and put on my outfit. Because I'm in the league, I'm required to join attacks, but I don't want them to find out I'm a villain, so I make myself look a bit different. I wear dark blue lenses, a mask, and I change the color of my flames to white. And when I do that, my hair color also changes, so that's useful. I try not to use my quirk too often to prevent getting recognized, so I only use the flames to solidify, and I only use the flames as a weapon if I'm in a very bad situation. I put on some other clothes and gloves and got back through a warp gate, but on the villain's side. I stood next to Shigaraki waiting for something to happen. Shigaraki ran towards Mr. Aizawa and the Noma followed. You probably know what happened next. I felt guilty I caused this, and now my friends are getting hurt. I saw Mr. Aizawa getting crushed by the Nomo. Let's just leave and help my other classmates. I still have my hero suit with me in my bag. I ran towards the fire zone and absorbed the fire to bake some walls for me to change in. I was back in my hero suit and absorbed as much of the fire I could. I took down some other villains without them seeing my face. I got out of the fire zone and saw Izuku, Mineta, and Tsu. I tried not to be seen and got closer to Izuku. Hey Izuku. Akai? I heard Shigaraki. Oh, before we leave, let's make sure the symbol of peace is broken. Let's wreck his pride. Shigaraki tried to attack Tsu, but his quirk got cancelled by Aizawa-sensei. Izuku tried smashing him, but the Nomu got in the way. He continued and demanded the Nomu to kill Izuku. The Nomu grabbed his arm and pulled him. I tried to pull him back, but it was useless. Boom. Finally, All Might arrived just in time. Everyone was relieved to see All Might again. Have no fear, students, I am here, but this time All Might wasn't smiling. I couldn't shake the feeling that something had gone wrong here when 13 and Aizawa didn't answer my calls. So I hurried over, running into young Ida on the way. He told me of the villainy that occurred here. He was too fast to see and already got us and Aizawa-sensei. Luckily, I already changed into my hero suit, otherwise I'd be lying beside them right now. Izuku and Mineta carried Mr. Aizawa, and Izuku said something about 1-4. It reminds me of the name All for One. So maybe he was meaning to say one for all? He's talking about his quirk, right? That Nomu is equally strong as All Might. I mean, he doesn't even flinch. A big cloud of dust formed. I wonder if this Nomu is really going to kill him. While they discussed how All Might was fighting the Nomu, I was worried if he was getting out of here alive. We looked at the fight when it looked like All Might got stuck. A warp gate had opened and it looked like All Might's getting injured. The gate was getting narrower. Was Kurogiri going to close the gate with him? Akai, can you carry Mr. Aizawa for me? Sure. All Might, I won't let them kill you. What does he think he's doing? He ran towards the fight. Izuku, what are you doing? Bakugou and Todoroki joined Izuku. All Might could free himself, and he is indeed injured. We kept walking carrying Mr. Aizawa. We could see Uraraka and the others. They came to us to help us with Aizawa-sensei. We could see the All Might fight the Nomu. And it looked very intense. It started to look like All Might was winning. The whole building started shaking. All Might won from the Nomu, although something was different. I've never seen All Might with smoke coming from him. Oh, Izuku again? The other pro heroes arrived. The class REP has returned and I brought reinforcement. Looks like Shigaraki is in some trouble. But I won't help him. 16, 17, 18, 19, everyone seems to be unharmed except for that boy whose legs were all messed up. Poor Izuku. Later. Ida, Uraraka, and I were waiting in front of the school when Izuku finally arrived. We walked back to the station and said goodbye. Next day, I walked around the neighborhood and a warp gate opened beneath me. What the hell? I fell on the floor. Oh, I'm in the base. I stood up and saw Kurogiri. What now? Is this about me leaving their side at the battle? Shigaraki already doesn't like it since I go to you today and stuff. Shigaraki wants to talk. Why would he want to talk to me? Oh yeah, I give information. Kurogiri pointed to a door. Guess I'll go. I entered the room and saw Shigaraki sitting on a chair. And what do you want? I asked, annoyed. What do you know about the boy with the broccoli hair? Broccoli hair? Well, I met him in middle school. People said he was quirkless. He is what you would expect from an extreme All Might fan. I can't tell him everything. Go on, he said. He had spent years taking notes of heroes. He's literally a walking encyclopedia. And when he was at the school exam, he took out a giant robot with one punch. Wait, he's still injured. That means he can't fight. No, don't even think about it. You have no license. You can leave. I left the room and Kurogiri warped me back. I should inform someone about this. A pro or someone I can trust. I walked back home and decided to train. Let's go somewhere I can't destroy anything. I walked to the beach that was once filled with trash. This seems like a good place. I know sand starts melting around 1,700 degrees Celsius, so let's try and reach that temperature. First I needed to gather enough light. Luckily I brought a lighter. I held my flame against the sand and the temperature climbed higher and higher. Come on, just a little hotter. The flame turned blue. I can't hold it any longer. I put my hand in the cold water. It only hurt for a minute. I can continue. I returned to the same place and saw that the sand had melted. It worked. I reached 1,700 degrees Celsius, but I can't hold it for very long. Let's try it with just making my hand very hot. I absorbed the heat from the melted sand and placed it on the sand. The sand melted immediately. I could hold the melted sand in my hands. I walked towards the sea and threw it in the water. It made a hissing sound. I pulled it out of the water again and decided to leave it here. I walked back home and read a book. I accidentally cut my finger on the paper. I saw a drop of blood. I put my thumb against it and my paper cut was gone. Did I just heal myself? I tested it out again and it happened again. I decided to try it on a plant. I made a small cut in a twig and tried again. Instead of just healing the twig, it grew a couple inches. So I can fast forward things? This is my original quirk? But if I tell somebody, they'll question why I got this second quirk later. I'll just keep it secret for emergencies. Next day on school. Morning class. Aizawa-sensei said while covered in bandages, "Emma, Aizawa, what are you doing here?" "Emma, Aizawa, I'm glad you're okay," Ida said. "The sports festival, wait for a second, is it really that good of an idea to have the sports festival so soon after the villains just snuck inside?" Jiro asked. Apparently the administration thinks this is a good way to show that the threat has been handled, and our school is safer than ever. Plus they're beefing up security compared to the past few years. This event is a huge opportunity for all students at UE. It's not something you can cancel because of some villains. Aizawa said. Later. Uraraka explained why she wanted to become a hero and Ida made weird hand gestures again. I heard All Might laughing. Young Midoriya is here. Wow, All Might, what are you doing here? Lunch, do you want to eat with me? Ah, that's so adorable. In the cafeteria. I listened to Uraraka and Ida wondering why Izuku would meet up with All Might. What the hell, Shoto, why are you looking at us? Hey, Shoto. He looked at me. I made my way through the crowd to get a little closer. Akai? It's been a while since we talked, huh? He smiled. Yeah, it's been a while. Oh, I missed that smile. The sports festival will be in 2 weeks. I prepared myself for what was coming. I practiced fast forward every morning and night and it became quite useful. I also tried different techniques for my firefold quirk. I try and go further expanding my limits. And before I knew it, it was the morning of the festival. Sadly my parents can't get here in time. But I'm sure they're watching. The morning of the festival. I was in the waiting room and suddenly Shoto was telling Izuku he's going to beat him and they were talking about All Might. Let's see how far I'll get. After Bakugou's terrible speech, the first thing, yes I'm calling it thing, was starting. I was standing in front of the entrance and I flew above everyone else. I see Shoto is turning everyone into ice lollies again. I was at the behind Shoto and was almost crossing him. He froze the big robot while I was already flying over it. I spared my energy and stayed behind him. I flew over the next obstacle. Bakugou passed by and I needed to gain speed. As he flew by I managed to gather some light from his explosions. I passed him by and increased in speed by his explosions. Suddenly an enormous explosion exploded. But it wasn't caused by Bakugou. While everyone was distracted I tried my best to stay at least second. Izuku cathed up and I flew next to Bakugou. Deku, what do you think you're doing? Izuku slowed them down but the explosion just made it easier for me. I got in second and saw Izuku breathing. Hey Izuku, congrats on being first place. He looked exhausted from what just happened. Thanks, you did great too, Hono. Oh, thank you. Honestly, I wasn't exhausted at all, I'm just beginning. Everyone got back in the arena and the next thing was being chosen. A cavalry battle, looks like I'll have to join a team. I searched for people and Ojiro then walked towards me. Hey Hono, can I join your team? Of course. But we still need 2 more people to join our team. I searched and found Shinso. Hey, wanna join our team? What's your name? I saw him brainwash some other students in the obstacle course so he can be useful. Hitoshi Shinso. Sure. Another boy from class 1B approached me. Hi, I'm Nirenjiki Shota. I'd like to join your team. Great, we have enough people in our team, let's strategize. Everyone will be focusing on Izuku, so what we're going to do is focus on the teams with fewer points, and in the end, we will get the 10 million points. Shinso is the rider, Shota and Ojiro are at the back and I am in the front. The test started, everyone ran towards Izuku. We managed to steal some hatbands, we stayed like this and observed the quirks of the others. So Tokoyami is sensitive to light? I can give him some. Rankings. 1 Team Midoriya. 2 Team Minoma. 3 Team Shins. 4 Team Tetsu. 5 Team Kendo. 6 Team Todoroki. Everyone got frozen in Shoto's ice and we took advantage of that. After that, I melted a hole in Shoto's ice and we waited for the right moment. Do you really think this is going to work? Shinso asked. Just trust me, we saw Todoroki snatching the 10 million hatbands and our plan was going smooth. He's using his other side? Now. Everyone was going to Shoto and no one was seeing us. We got close enough and I snatched the hatband. Time's up, we won. We left the arena and I got complimented by the others. What's Shoto doing there? I decided to go there and listen to what they're talking about, but on the way there I came across Endeavor. Hello Akai, Endeavor. I see you're catching up with Shoto since you're the only one that's worthy of outranking him. Let's see. And I left again. I walked towards the place Shoto was and saw Bakugou listening. Baku dashed, he covered my mouth. Shut up, I'm trying to listen. I pushed his hand away and stood next to him, slightly blushing. He didn't have to do that. Secret love child or something? WHKK, okay Shoto, what is happening in your head? Most stuff were things I already knew. Bakugou's face looked shocked. I smiled and looked at him. He pushed me away. They left and us too. You already knew this? Bakugou asked. Yeah, I've known Shoto since Biarch, so I know that stuff. I got back to the arena and forgot about the cheerleader outfits. Turns out I made the right decision. I looked at the board and saw the matches. I was going to fight Mina. Maybe I'll get to fight Shoto again. Meanwhile, the side games were starting and I joined, of course. And shortly after, the finals began. I watched Izuku fight first. And after that Isich Odo made a quick fight with Zero. While in the third fight Izuku was full on taking notes and of course muttering. And after this match I was going to fight. I was walking towards the waiting room, sat down and thought about what I was going to do. Okay, I am ready. We walked to the arena. This fire is just for show, but I can use it to my advantage. 5th match begin. I sent fire to Ishido and she dodged every last one of them. She was fast with her acid, but it was no match. I had set my trap. She got close enough and the fire got solid. She was stuck. She tried to melt the walls with her acid. But I was covering her in the flames. The walls closed over her and I shaped it into a giant ball. Mina couldn't get out. I walked towards the Mina and gave her a push. She rolled out of the field. I returned the flames to me again. Piece of cake. Ishido is out. The winner of this match is Hono. I got back to the rest of my classmates. Hono, you were amazing. Mina said. You too? Thanks, Uraraka and Bakugou? That's going to be an interesting fight. I see what she's doing. Whoa, he blew up her whole plan. I guess I underestimated him. It's too much, yeah? It's way past her limit. She did a great job. I said. And that's it for the first round. I watched the fight with Shoto and Izuku. He's injuring himself so much. Wait, he's breaking his broken fingers. That's illegal. Oh, Izuku talked to him and now he's using his left side. Good job. Giant explosion, that's rough. I'll have to be careful if I'm facing him in the fight now. Someone give him a fireproof shirt, or not. After the match, I walked by to see Izuku. After that, I headed to the waiting room. Tokoyami is the opposite of me. He feeds of darkness while I need light. I'll be able to win this round. I walked towards him. When the battle started, I created a huge wall of white fire. Dark Shadow wasn't anywhere to be seen, and I pushed Tokoyami out. I advanced to the next round. I'm against Shoto? This is going to be interesting. In the arena. So I expect him to use his fire side too now, but I can use it to my advantage too because of light. He always starts off with a nice cold ice attack. So I need to make my whole body hot, that way he won't be able to freeze me. And I'll keep my flames white. I'm not good at blue yet. So it should be fine. Let's see how this is going to turn out. Start, he sent ice, and I didn't want to waste the energy I gathered yet. I ended up covered in ice, but it melted quickly because of the high temperature. What, she melted Todoroki's ice like it was nothing? People reacted very shocked. I counterattacked him and he got a little pushed back. Good, now stay stable. I created a wall of fire behind me and made it solid. He sent more ice my way, but it was no match. He still wasn't using his fire. Not using your left side like with Izuku? I covered the floor in hot white flames. Can't use your ice anymore? He tried using his ice, but it melted away. I decided to do it now. I smiled and sent a huge blast. The whole arena felt it. Todoroki is out. Hono goes to the next round. I actually made it this far? Whoa, did she just beat Todoroki? I smiled and looked at Endeavor. He gave me a shocked look back. I walked back to the rest to see Bakugou fight, but I got a lot of compliments and questions while trying to watch. Wow, Akai, I didn't know you could do that. Wow, you beat Todoroki, and he's super strong. You were amazing. Thanks. Looks like I'm going to fight Bakugou next. Luckily, I haven't shown everything I prepared. I realized this fight wasn't going to last forever and quickly headed to the waiting room. I'll need to keep him busy at the start of the battle. I don't think he'll hold back. But I have an advantage. His quirk creates lots of light that fuels me to attack. My fast-forward quirk can be very useful in this fight. Bakugou kicked open the door. What the hell are you doing in here? This is my space to AT. This is waiting room number 2. He looked irritated. All right, fine, so I may have walked into the wrong room, but don't think I won't be on top of the game. Got that? So give everything you've got. Excuse me, how do you think I made it in here? Do you think you're some kind of god? Nothing changes, I'll just beat you like always. Bakugou and I sometimes got into arguments when we were younger, and I'd be at his house and beat him while his mom was laughing. I became friends with Bakugou when I played with Izuku when I was younger, so I met them before middle school. Just do your best, don't make me look weak. She left the room. I used to have a crush on him, but you know. Time passed and I got over it. Before I knew it, I had to go face him again. It's the final battle, don't screw this up. Welcome to the final battle in the U. A sports festival, what an introduction. The fire on the sides of the field was burning. I was already gathering light. Now begin. I sent white flames towards him that turned into solid spikes when he tried using his explosions. They didn't manage to hit him, but they did hit the ground. I sent more his way when he finally tried attacking me. Are you underestimating me? Try harder. He came flying towards me and I made a flaming solid hot wall. The wall was quite thick, so I had some time to gather some light. Soon after, he broke through the wall, rushing towards me. I covered myself in colder flames and made it solid. The thing about the hardening of the flames is that only I can bend it. It formed around me like a suit to protect me against the attacks. He fired explosions directly to me. Okay, now, the suit turned in flames again and I quickly made 2 sharp hot knives. Since he was so close, I was able to try and stab him. I first used my right hand at his face so he saw it coming. I'm aware of his quick reflexes, so I used my left hand to stab him in his arm. He mainly uses his arms to make explosions, so this should weaken him. But only a stab won't stop him. I used my fire to get out of the situation and flew over him. But he managed to stop me and threw me to the ground. I hit my head. I felt dizzy. No, just continue the fight, you've got this. He came back to me at an incredible speed. Do you think I'm that weak? Die. I hit the ground again and felt the pain in my back. Okay, enough. I pushed him away from me and almost sent him flying. I made a gigantic wave of pure white fire. I'll hope this works. Now focus. I felt an incredible amount of pain inside my head. Focus. The wave didn't put a scratch on Bakugou and he flew right at me. I suddenly felt very light in my head and everything started fading away. I could see Bakugou's face through his explosions. His face started to look concerned. When the explosions came, I tried to stay conscious. But I was hearing screams of pain. Please stop. I heard. I felt a knife cutting. Through my flesh, I opened my eyes and saw a guy wearing a weird plague-like mask. I blinked again and saw a woman screaming for help in a fire. And everything went black. Bakugou ran towards the unconscious girl. Shui, stop messing around. This isn't a real win for me unless you try harder. Midnight stepped in and used her quirk on Bakugou. He fell down next to Hono. Hono is out. That means Bakugou is the winner. The crowd cheered. After a while, she woke up. Stop, I woke up. It's all just a dream. Wait, the battle, Bakugou. I looked at my leg, there's not a single scratch on it, but how did I feel the pain? I sat on the bed and saw Shoto. Oh hi Shoto, he's here? Why are you here? I wanted to see how you were doing. Ah, that's so sweet. Soon after we needed to head to the award ceremony. Katsuki Bakugou. Akai Hono. Shoto Todoroki / Tenya Ida. Tenya Ida actually shared the third place with Todoroki, but unfortunately, he had to leave for family reasons. All Might entered the arena and started handing out medals and advice. Young Hono, congratulations. You showed great strength out there. He gave me a hug. Thank you, I hope you're feeling better now you're standing here. Next he went to Bakugou and put the medal in his mouth. Stop laughing. We each had the next 2 days of school off. After 2 days. Wow, the sports festival made me recognized on the streets. Everyone wanted to talk to me, but I continued to go to school. I got in class on time. Morning, good morning Mr. Aizawa. He entered the classroom. Mr. Aizawa, you don't have bandages anymore. Anyway, we have a big class today, our hero informatics. You need code names, time to pick your hero identity. On the board appeared graphs of offers. Wait, I got the most offers. In past years it's been more spread out, but there's a pretty big gap this time. Next it was time to pick our hero names. Midnight entered the classroom. My hero name. I haven't thought of it yet. Now students, who of you are ready to share? I need to think of something. Maybe I'll just use my own name. Akai, okay, down now. Next was choosing from our offers. Wait, what? I got an offer from Endeavor's hero agency. I could use this. I mean the similarities in quirks. And of course, he's the number 2 hero. And the next day we headed to our agencies. Let's go. I and Shoto were going to the same agency, so we went together. Most of the time Endeavor was just talking to Shoto while I was awkwardly next to him. We didn't do much the next day. Shoto and I just talked a bit while patrolling through the street. But the next day we went to Hosu. When we were running, Shoto got a message. Hey, wait, where the hell are you going? I need to go. My friend might be in danger. Wait, Shoto? I ran after him. What are you doing? Midoriya, what's with Izuku? We ran to a small alley and we saw the hero killer with Izuku and Ida lying on the ground. Oh god, are they hurt? Shoto attacked him and kept him busy. We fought side by side. Wait, there's someone else too. Ida is injured. Should I use my powers on him? I ran towards him. Hey, can you move? Why are you and Todoroki here? We can't leave you guys here. I healed his shoulder. I suppose they can't move because of his quirk. Okay, I healed him a little. Who else do I need to help? I ran towards Izuku. Izuku, are you okay? I placed my hand on his wound. You can heal? Yeah, I'll explain later. Ida and Izuku attacked the hero killer. Go guys, Shoto supports them. I suddenly felt very tired. It's probably because I skipped some time of their healing process. It takes a lot of energy. Don't let him get away. I fired too. And I am a hero. Shoto caught them with his ice. Did we knock him out? Okay, we should restrain him so he can't escape. Good idea, let's take his weapons too. After doing that, okay, that's the last of it, we dragged the villain with us. Hey Hono, I didn't know you could heal. Oh, how do I answer this? Oh, kind of, I just skipped some time of the healing process, but it takes a lot of my energy. Right, let's get him to the police as fast as we can. And a small old man appeared and kicked Izuku in the face. I told you to stay in the bullet train. Who's this? Shoto asked. Izuku answered, Gran Torino is a hero I'm interning with. I don't get it. How'd you find us? I was sent here by someone else. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm glad you're not dead. Me too, and I'm sorry. A group of heroes showed up. Endeavor told us to go here, children. Those injuries look bad. I looked at my arm. Oh, I'm so exhausted that I didn't notice those. They're partially healed, so that's why I feel so tired and exhausted. I'll call an ambulance right away. Hey, look. Legasp, is that the hero killer? Oh, they're shocked. What? I'll get the police on the line. Ida approached us. Hey guys, you were all hurt because of me. I'm so sorry, I was just so angry. I couldn't see anything else. He started sobbing. I'm sorry too, Ida. You went through so much by yourself, and I couldn't tell if anything was wrong. Hey, pull yourself together, you're the class rep. He wiped away his tears. Then suddenly a Nomu attacked and grabbed Izuku. No, he was saved by the hero killer. And after that Endeavor arrived. Don't tell me that all might is worthy. We fell down. Frozen. 2 days later. Hey, Izuku, can I talk to you about something? Of course. Am I really going to tell him? It's about my quirk. He looked at me. This quirk I used to heal you was my original quirk. The other quirk wasn't originally mine. He looked at me full of shock. You mean you got your quirk from someone else? Yes, and I know you've got your quirk from someone else too. Izuku looked even more shocked. How'd you know? He asked. I heard you talk to Bakugou. Oh, how did you get your quirk? About that, I'm kind of involved in the League of Villains. But don't freak out. I didn't choose to join them. And I don't know how to get myself out of this mess. The League of Villains got you a quirk? Yeah, now, I'm going by. I left the hospital and continued the internship. School. People were told Endeavor saved us from the hero killer, and it was very annoying. Have you heard the news about the hero killer? Everyone is talking about how he was somehow connected to the League of Villains. Izuku looked at me. I honestly didn't know anything. Stared back in confusion. Everyone please take your seats. Ida said. Welcome, today we have hero basic training. Well then listen carefully for what's in store. We're going to be conducting a little race. Take everything you've learned from your internships and apply it to your rescue training. Prepare, you're about to step into Field Gamma. Alright, the first group get to your places. After that it was Group 2's turn. And after the training, we went to the changing rooms. When we heard Mineta talk about the peephole in the wall, Jiro prevented him from looking. Thanks, Jiro, we'll close up this hole immediately. The exams were getting closer, and Shoto started to hang out with us more often. Hey Deku, I don't know what's going on with your power. But I saw the way you're using it and I want you to know. It's seriously pissing me off. Still being his arrogant self, I won't have another half but win like the sports festival, we'll be getting individual scores in the finals. He looked at me and Shoto, Hono and Todoroki. I'll kill you too, Shoto nodded. So I started preparing for the exams. The written exam was no problem for me. I also started to notice Shoto's behavior around me. He wasn't as cold as before, at least. And after the written exams finished, the practical exam started. I was paired with Uraraka. Want to discuss tactics? Sure. We walked to the monitor room for some inspiration and found Izuku watching. And after a while, it was our turn. 13 was using her quirk black hole. If we'd let go, we would turn to dust. So we were holding on to a fence. Hey. Not now. Are you thinking of someone? She looked at me. Is it because you like him? I knew she had a crush on Izuku. It's obvious to me. She let go and turned into a tomato, and she's falling. 13 stopped using her quirk. I flew over to her and helped Uraraka. Whoa, she can be scary, but we captured 13. Team Hono and Uraraka have passed the finals. Wow, Uraraka. That was amazing. Oh, thanks. You were amazing too. We walked back to the monitor room. What, Mina had lost the battle? Achiko, what were you and Hono talking about? Oh well, it was nothing, you've got it all wrong. She turned red. I think Izuku likes her too. I can't ignore ships, and in the end, it turned out well. I watched Izuku's fight. Bakugou really doesn't want to work with him. Oh, never mind, it actually worked. After the exams finished, I got a message from Kurojiri. Why am I still doing this? Should I just ignore it? Or maybe I can be useful and tell others about what I know. I can't just leave them. I'll go. Since the hero killer thing, more people probably got interested in the league. I can be prepared. Okay, let's go. I arrived at the base and 3 people entered the room. One looked like he was burned and the other just looked like a high school girl. Toga here. Himiko Toga, life is too hard. I just want to make it easier to live in this world. She looks nice, but I shouldn't see her as a friend. The whole room is filled with villains. Oh, Shigaraki snapped. Please calm yourself, Tamura Shigaraki, if your longing is to be realized. Then we must increase our numbers. Now that we are in the spotlight, our chance is at hand. They want to recruit more people. I guess I'll leave. Wait, I have the chance to talk to them now, right? Hello, Toga. My name is Hono. It's nice to meet you. Oh, hello. I heard you're a part of here too. Yes, let's introduce ourselves a little. So what's your quirk? The conversation continued. Now I knew their quirks. After that, I left and walked back home. Next day, some people were freaking out because of the exams, and Izuku tried helping but got fingers poked in his eyes. Once the bell rings, you're supposed to be in your seats. Everyone was quiet. Unfortunately, there were a few students that did not pass, so when it comes to training camp in the woods, everyone is going. It's a last-minute twist. 5 failed the practical exam, badly. And 0 failed as well. The girls wanted me to join them when shopping, so I joined them. At the mall. It was pretty fun, I admit. I actually haven't done in a while. We even got recognized by the sports festival. I went off wandering around the shops myself and I ran in Uraraka. Oh, hi Uraraka. Where are you heading? Oh, I was going to Deku. I'll join you. We got to Aizawa. What is Shigaraki doing here? A Deku? Is that a friend? Hey, let go of him, Uraraka said. They looked frightened. I looked at Shigaraki like, what the hell? This is nothing, everything's fine, stay back. He coughed as he let go. Deku? Izuku, you okay? Hold on, Shigaraki. Shigaraki? I have a question too. What is one for all after? He left and Uraraka reported the incident. The police questioned us. I had told Izuku what I knew about him, so I was helping a little. It's been a while since I visited that stupid bar and a lot more people probably joined. The league was getting stronger by the day. I think it's about time I talk about it with someone. But who? I got a message from Izuku, meet me at the beach at. I went there and saw Izuku and a tall man. I'm here, what did you want to talk about? I recognized the man from at the sports festival. You wanted to talk about the League of Villains with someone, right? So I brought All Might. What, I don't see All Might. Where is he? The tall man answered, I'm here. Are you All Might? If he really is, there's a lot of explaining to do. After explaining the incident and one for all, I was pretty close to finding out. Want to tell us about the league now? Oh yeah, so I was 14 when I got threatened to join them. I met one for all and he gave me a quirk. And after a while, they found out that you became a teacher at U.A, so they decided to make a plan to attack the USJ. And I was the main cause of that. I'm really sorry. It's okay, you were forced to. I continued. Right now they are increasing in numbers. I really don't know how to get out of this. Izuku looked shocked and All Might was still processing. Do you know where All for One currently is? No, I got warped there. The room was very dark so you could barely see anything. I'll talk about it with the police. For now, stay away from the league, All Might said. Okay, do they know you're telling us this? Izuku asked. No, they don't. I'm kind of trying to get out of the league. The conversation later ended and I walked back home. And someone was in front of the door. I'm sorry, do I know you? The person turned around and I saw a man with a plague mask. My heart started pounding out of my chest. Everything started to shake and I could feel the sweat in my hands. The man reached me and I fainted. I later woke up in the living room. Everything was still twisting and shaking. I saw Shoto above me. He was holding my head when I was unconscious. He probably brought me to the couch to wait for me to wake up. I blushed. You're Shoto W, what are you doing here? I was about to head to the school pool. I thought you could join me on the way. Oh, we're going to the school pool. I totally forgot about that. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. What happened there? Oh, it's nothing. Are you sure? You can just tell me what happened. Ah, he's so caring. Well, I'm having these dreams about a girl. And another man with a plague mask. And the dreams sometimes appear during the day and it becomes a bit overwhelming. Are you sure you still want to go to the pool? Yes, of course. I need some distraction. I stood up and packed my stuff. Let's go. We got there and I walked to the girls' changing room. We got swimsuits from the school so I didn't have to bring my own. I put it on and joined the other girls. We played a game in the pool and after that, the boys wanted to have a competition. The funny part was that Shoto and Bakugou weren't even swimming, but I guess that's allowed. The last round came. You can do it, Shoto. They all fell in the water. What happened? Why aren't they using their quirks? Aizawa-sensei used his quirk. It's 5 p.m. Your authorized pool time is officially over. Hurry up and go home. I headed home. I haven't seen Shoto only in swimming trunks for a while. Wait, that's weird, stop it. But he's really cute. Okay, that's true. The first semester ended and summer camp began. We went to the camp by bus. When we came to the first stop, we met the wild pussycats. These will be the pro heroes you'll be working with at the summer training camp. Next to the girls was a small boy. We own this whole stretch of land down here, everything you can see. The summer camp you're staying at is there at the base of the mountain. While everyone tried going back to the bus, I jumped off the cliff. This should be fun, right? I tried using my fast-forward quirk more to get used to it. It only takes me a lot of energy to heal, but otherwise, it takes less effort. But I still need to learn a lot about it. I landed on a tree and the branch I landed on began growing and brought me to the next tree. I used this technique and arrived at the camp in 20 minutes. I couldn't see the pussycats or Mr. Aizawa. They're seemingly still on the bus. So I tried out something. I put a seed in the ground and made it grow. It grew big enough and I could climb on it. This is fun, I can just grow trees in an instant. After a while, the bus arrived. The pussycat stepped out of the bus. This tree wasn't here a while ago? I put it here. The three looked confused. After a few hours, the rest of the class finally came. They all looked exhausted. Huh, how did you get here this fast? I guess it took me less time than I expected. I brought my stuff to the dorms and we went to the cafeteria to eat. The food here is really good. At the cafeteria, Mina and some of the other girls talked about the hot spring. And after dinner, we got to the hot spring. All of the girls looked at my back. What's wrong? They were looking at my scars. What happened to you? Uraraka asked. Oh, I got in a fire when I was 4 years old. They all stared at the burn marks that started from my back to my neck and spread on my shoulders. But it's nothing. It's not really something I want to talk about. We heard sounds of someone climbing the walls. Luckily, Koda came to stop Mineta from climbing. Mineta really is the worst, isn't he? Thanks so much, Koda. We owe you 1 foot. He turned around, but we were all still naked. The poor boy fell from the fence. After bathing, we got back to the dorms. Let's play truth or dare. Mina suggested. I'll go first. Okay, truth or dare? Dare? I'm looking forward to something exciting. I dare you to kiss Todoroki. My face turned red. Come on, we all know you and Todoroki are close. He's already coming. Yayarosa said what they called him. They pushed me forward and eventually I could see Shoto. Is something wrong? What do I do? What do I do? Mina decided to give me a little push. I got really close to him and I looked at his eyes. He held my hand and the kiss ended up longer than I expected. I let go. I am so sorry, I should have asked first. And I was cut off by him kissing me. What does this mean? Good night. I walked away looking like a cooked lobster. The girls all cheered when we returned to the dorms and it was something that could keep me awake all night. Next day. Today we're going to improve our quirks. I worked on my blue flames. The blue flames made me burn my skin, but I can heal it with fast forward. So I just tried to hold it for as long as I could. Burning and healing my arms helped me improve both my quirks. And I made some progress. I can use my blue flames for about 2 minutes. The training finally ended and we had to cook our own curry. Let's make the most delicious curry in the world, everyone. Ida said. Shoto and I helped the others with our fire, and I wandered around helping others to cook since I'm used to cooking for myself. The curry isn't that bad. I should eat this more often, it's so easy to make. The day passed by and tomorrow is another day of quirk training. Next day. This time I focused on solidifying my fire and the limits. I tried to lower the temperature, but every time it hit 300 degrees Celsius it collapsed. So if I made a blade out of my blue fire, I can almost cut through anything. We were going to do something in the night. Sounds fun, right? Mandalay explained the game we were going to play with Class 1B and we needed to draw to see who our partner is. I got paired with Jiro. Hey Akai, trade with me? Bakugou said. Stop complaining, you should have seen his face. I mean, I'd like to go with Shoto, but I like to irritate Bakugou. We entered the forest, but something suspicious was happening. Is this smoke? Jiro fell down. I barely caught her. What is this smoke? I'm immune to it. Let's find the others. Is this the League's doing? They're having Bakugou and I targeted? Did they find out about me? Now is not a time to worry about those things. I ran into Yayorozu when looking for the others. Oh, can you take care of Jiro? I need to find the others. She grabbed my arm. Wait, the villains are after you. Do you really think it's that good of an idea to run off alone? Don't worry, I climbed up a tree and searched for Shoto's ice. It should be somewhere. Found it. It's dark now, so I should save my fire. I used the same technique as when we needed to cross the forest. Shoto. Akai. I jumped off the tree and landed next to Bakugou. We heard loud sounds and Shoji shouting, Hono, Bakugou, Todoroki, one of you give you us some light. Shoji and Midoriya, and is that Tokoyami? Dark Shadow was gigantic and easily defeated the villain, and we used our quirks to weaken Dark Shadow. Tokoyami was able to control his quirk again and I saw Midoriya broken again. Midoriya, what happened to your arm? I got in a fight with it. Villain, here let me help you, I healed his arm. Oh thanks Hono, that's much better. Bakugou looked confused. What? Okay, I don't know if you heard Mandalay, but I found out the villains are after Hono and Kaken. Are they trying to kill them? Why? Shoji said. I looked at Izuku. I'm not sure, but we should head back to camp. It's the safest way now, probably with a group like this. We could go up against All Might. I don't need any of your protection, Dimin IT. Let's go, don't ignore me. Someone fighting, it's Uraraka and Toga. Toga? I turned around and Bakugou and Tokoyami disappeared. Huh? I disappeared too. It's not just Bakugou, Tokoyami and Hono are gone too. Akai is gone? Shoto said. If you're monologuing us because you think you've beaten us, you're mistaken. Taking Tokoyami was a bit of improv on my part. Shoto created an enormous ice wall. Here, take him from me, he gave the student to Uraraka. They're going to take them, our friends. Shoto said. They can't. You're right, we'll stop them. They made a plan. They came crashing to the ground. Give Tokoyami, Bakugou, and Akai back to us. Hey, I know these kids. Poor they. Out away compress got it. Dabi sent glowing blue fire at them. Shoto dodged but Izuku and Shoji got burned. Hi Izuku, I'm Toga. I've been thinking since I saw you, Midoriya. Shoji yeeted Toga away. Mr. Compress got out of the marble. Do you got Bakugou and Hono? Dabi said. Of course, he couldn't find the marbles in his pocket. It's been 5 minutes since the signal. Let's go. Dabi Kurogiri opened his warp gates. Sorry Izuku, but I'll see you later, okay? Toga stepped in the warp gate. Hold on, we're not leaving without the kids. Don't worry, they were so proud of themselves for rooting through my pockets that I thought I'd let them go. He opened his mouth revealing 3 marbles including Tokoyami, Bakugou, and me. He's got them. He turned the fakes back to normal. Is that my ice? That's right. They were almost leaving when Aoyama hit Mr. Compress with his naval laser. Shoji was able to grab Tokoyami, but Shoto failed to get me and Bakugou. Well, isn't that tragedy? Poor little Shoto Todoroki. Mr. Compress released us. And Bakugou and I were captured. Checkmate, Dabi said, going through the warp gate. Stay back, Deku. By Shoto, when we got out of the warp gate we were strapped to chairs. And Shigaraki was watching the news. I'm so grateful to the media for all the free publicity lately, right? Isn't it nice? So they found out? Are they going to kill us? Just remain calm. So you decided to betray us? Bakugou looked at me confused. Did you really think I was listening to you? I had enough time to gather light. Let's see if you're still smiling when you're dust. He walked towards me with his arm barely reaching my face. Try using your quirk on me and you're dead. I have the power to end someone's life. I can fast forward it until it reaches the end. But I'm not trying to kill anyone. I'm not a villain. I spread the heat to my upper body. He pulled his hand back when he felt it. I got so hot the metal chains started melting and I returned the heat back to me to make it solid. Whoops, my bad, my hands were free, but I let my guard down and Shigaraki already touched my knee. Bakugou was shocked. What the? If I don't do anything my leg will fall off. I used my quirk to heal myself, but slowly. I'll ask you one more time, Katsuki Bakugou, aspiring hero, will you join the League of Villains? Go throw yourself in the traffic. Shigaraki looked at my normal knee. I don't remember you could heal like that, Shigaraki said, didn't want to waste my energy on you. You brat, I'll kill you. I just kept quiet and he was watching the news again. This time it was a press conference with Principal Nizu, Mr. Aizawa, and Vlad King. A hero in this system only cares about money and glory, and since society buys into these rules, anyone deemed a loser is shoved aside. They're just trying to win him to their side, but it won't be that easy. They removed his chains, of course, he started fighting back. I'm done listening to your endless talking, can you just not get to the point, or do you just like your own voice? Basically, you mean you want to cause some trouble and you want me to join you. I like to win. I want to win just like All Might, no matter what you have to offer me that will never change, do you understand? I decided to join him. Ha, you heard the teachers, I'm never going to join your League of Bastards. Bakugou looked ready to fight. Really? Let me stab him. I just prepared long spikes made of my fire, just in case anything happens, of course. They still want to kill me, I have to be cautious. And oh, Tamura, Shigaraki, be calm. Don't lay a finger on him, any of you. This hero is still a valuable piece. Kurogiri, compress, it's time to put them back to sleep. If you want me to listen, then get on your knees and beg. Hello, I got a pizza DLVI here, what? Smash. It's All Might. The villains were detained by Kamui Woods and held under control by Gran Torino. You can't run any more League of Villains, understand? Because we are here now. Oh, you must have been scared, but we're here now. What, I wasn't scared, not even close. Bakugou shouted. Kurogiri, warp over as many as you can. Shigaraki shouted. Enough is enough, your game has come to an end. Tamura, Shigaraki, All Might scared the CRP out of the villains. Suddenly portals with Nomu started appearing in the room. Bakugou and I were teleported too. Cough, cough, a diamanite? I coughed, what is this stuff? My apologies, Bakugou. All for one. The rest of the league got here too. So you failed once more, Tamura, but you must not be discouraged. You'll try again, that's why I brought your associates with you. Even these children. All Might flew in here and attacked him. Give me my students back. All for one, I was blown away literally. All Might. Don't worry, it'll take more than that to kill him. Get off the battlefield, Tamura. And take those children with you. What are we supposed to do? They're attacking. I threw my spikes and hit twice. OW, that hurt. No, it didn't. The spikes are not that big enough to injure them, but it'll help me hold them off. I made the blue fire this time. I tried dodging the attacks and I managed to melt some of their weapons. All Might is busy with All for one. How long can I do this? I trapped Toga in my solid flames. Don't touch the wall, unless you want to get burned. Bakugou grabbed me by my wrist and flew all the way to Izuku and Kirishima. What Izuku? We ran away and got in a crowd. We all watched the fight on a gigantic billboard. He revealed his true form. Come on, All Might. Everyone cheered him on. You can win this. And after a way too emotional, epic battle, All Might wins. Everyone cried in joy as their symbol won again. He'll likely be able to change into that form again. We can't go anywhere. Let's go find Todoroki and Yaoyorozu. Now, it's your turn. Izuku started crying, and I think I know why. After we met up again with Shoto and Yaoyorozu, Bakugou and I were taken to the police to answer some questions. And when I came home, nobody was there. I was just sitting there all alone. I looked at my phone as I saw the 2 missed calls. From Mom, I miss her. Not her, I mean my real mom. Mine mom adopted me at the age of 4. She was a good friend of Mom. I replied to her messages. Don't worry, I'm safe and home, I typed. When will you get home? I'd like to have someone around since I'm not allowed to go somewhere alone now. I'm at least in the top 3 of Shigaraki's kill list. I'm no longer in the league, but am I even safer this way? I'll just get everyone in trouble. I messed up. My parents got informed about the league and Mom will be coming home in 2 days, but Dad is busy, she says. I barely see him, but I don't need to see him anyway. Not like I hate him or anything, but he never interacts with me. It's like he's a stranger to me. I also don't remember much about my biological father. He had brown hair and that's it. It's frustrating. I have a picture, that's all. At least the league doesn't know where I live. I got a new phone number so I could cut off the contact with the league. After 2 days, my mom arrived home and in time. Today she would talk about the dorms with Mr. Izawa and All Might. I think it's an excellent idea. Akai's always been lonely at home. And I trust the school to keep a good eye on her. It's wonderful she got out of all this unharmed. I was just quietly sitting next to Mom listening to the conversation between Mr. Izawa, All Might and Mom. It's like she didn't care that much about me getting kidnapped by a random group of villains and getting involved in crime, not that it's the first time. I sometimes feel like a burden. My biological mother wanted her to be my guardian. So she agreed and adopted me, but they always leave me at home alone. My biological mother, Mom, and Shoto's mom were friends. So I interacted with the Todorokis sometimes. Shoto's dad was just using me as an example. All he wanted was to train him, so when I started at 5 years old his dad thought Shoto could do it too. I trained because I chose to, Shoto didn't. I once gave him a keychain. It was a water bucket. I would always say, if he's being mean to you or somebody else, just imagine pouring this over him. That's 10 years ago, but enough about that. After Mom gave the school permission the teachers left and I started thinking about what to put in my dorm. And it was time to move in. Mina talked to me and the others about the rooms, and so we got to the boys and told them the idea. Well, the girls and I have been talking and we have a great idea. Let's go around and see who has the coolest room. The girls walked in the first room, filled with All Might merch. After we've looked at some of the boys' rooms we continued including the girls' rooms. When we walked in Shoto's room it was so Japanese, I wandered around and found a keychain. He still has it? That's so sweet. After Shoto's room, we got to eat cake. That's all I care about. The boys were done, now we were going to judge the girls' rooms. And it was my turn. Whoa, is that a snake? Yeah, that's Yumi. Kaminari pointed at the white snake. Hano, your room is so adorable. Uraraka said, thanks. I'm glad they didn't notice the extra drawer beneath my bed, and if you're wondering what's inside, it's filled with a knife collection. I know I'm weird, but before I had some quirk I practiced with my knives. After we finished Yaomomo's room the contest was done. In the end, Sato won. The cake was just too delicious. And I could finally sleep. Oh, it's that girl from my dreams. I was in a dark room, the only thing you could see was Eri. Hey, wait, where are you going? The little girl ran away. Eventually she stopped, turned and bumped into me. Pete, please help me. I could see her clearly now. She was covered in bandages and had a frightening look on her face. What's wrong? Are you hurt? The little girl was being followed. It's okay, I'm here for you. I gave her a hug. When the sounds of footsteps came closer I saw the same man with the plague mask. It was quiet. Peach, please help me. Is that man scaring her? Suddenly there was blood flowing out of her bandages, and it was filling the room. It was weird because this hurt a lot. It's like I was feeling what she was feeling right now. I screamed and suffocated in the liquid. The girl was gone, so was the man. And I woke up. It's just a dream, nothing to worry about. But what if it's real? Wait, I'm in the dorms. Wait, I have school. I'm not supposed to have pain in a dream, right? Just focus on getting to school. It's nice to have the other girls around. I'm not used to it, but it's nice. School. I believe I mentioned this already, but your main focus this summer is obtaining provisional hero licenses. Yes, sir. Do not take this lightly. A hero license means you are responsible for human lives. You can imagine at the exam to receive one is very difficult. Only 50% of students pass the test required each year. Today you'll focus on something new, 2 ultimate moves. Wait, I have 2 quirks. Does that mean I'll have to make 4 ultimate moves? 3 pro heroes entered the classroom. We had to put our hero suits on and go to Gym Gamma. A Gym Gamma. Ultimate move? I can make a giant blast of blue flames. I can try that out. Okay, let's do this now. I focused all of the energy in my body in my hands. Giant blast. I returned some of the remaining heat from the blast and it became solid. The ectoplasm clone was totally destroyed, Mr. Ectoplasm, can I have a new one? Thank you. This was going well. After that, I headed to the development studio to figure out what I could add to my suit. But when I arrived it looked like something had blown up. Hey Uraraka and Ida. Oh, what happened there? When the smoke cleared we saw Hatsumon Izuku. Hey, when did you get here? Uraraka looked devastated. It's been a while, Class 1A, right? Yeah, I forgot all your names already. Yoi Izuku Midoriya, I'm Tenya Akai Hono. Never heard of ya. She's busy. And after that, we could finally enter the room. I'm kind of scared to say what I want to change on my costume. You know what happens if I do. You should try this baby out. Why do I feel like it's going to explode? I think you're right, Uraraka. Explosion, a work in progress. I don't think I feel safe here. I was thinking about something that can help me fly better and aim my fire. And I eventually got it. With these changes I could work on more special moves. And I have one ultimate move now, Wave of Flames. It's like a tsunami but with my flames. While making more ultimate moves, I shaped the flames in a large spike. Okay, now throw it and make it solid. The giant spike got through the wall like cutting through butter, and because it was made of her flames she could make the spike collapse on precise moments. It's very handy if you want to avoid further damage or if you need to go through something solid. And it doesn't need that much effort. I call it Burning Spike. Another ultimate move I made involved the new changes to my costume. With this move, I can cut anything to pieces. I use my fire to make a laser-like beam similar to Aoyama's, but they're flames. When it gets close enough to the thing I want to destroy, it turns into a WHP and I can slice through anything with this high temperature. I can also lower the temperature and use it to capture someone when it wraps around the being it becomes solid. But of course, it's still burning hot and I don't want to grill people alive. So I don't think I should use it to restrain people or I'll boil their blood. Link to a drawing of Akai if you want to see. Later that day in the dorms. Does it have to be so hard? Mina said, well, it's not called intense. Training for nothing. It's true, it's strange there's only a week left before the exams, Yaomomo said. And how are you guys doing with your ultimate moves? I asked everyone. I perfected a move that makes me even more frog-like than before. I'm sure you'd even be surprised, Hano. What about you, Uraraka? She didn't react. Tsu tried getting her attention. Hey Ochiko, Uraraka screeched. You seem a little tense. No, I'm just nothing. Everything's going awesome, she said nervously. You can see something's going on with her. The thing is, recently my heart's been all stirred up about something. It's love. Mina yelled, I bet it's Izuku. I said, what did you say? Tough glove? Never seen 1 foot, or is it someone else? Come on, spill. Yeah, go on with it. You know we won't stop until we know. She floated around the room. I swear it's an O1. It's not okay to force an investigation, guys. Yeah, that's true. What about you and Todoroki? The girls looked at me. Well, they quickly changed the topic. What do you mean? You know what we mean, come on. Mina said. Come on, Akai, we all know you two like each other, Jiro said. My face turned bright red. I don't know. How do I ask him? Just tell him you like him and ask if he likes you back. What do you think, Yaomomo? Sounds okay. She made a rope and pulled Uraraka down. You should ask him out. Slow down a bit, I haven't asked him yet. Maybe we should save this for another time. Akai is right, it's getting late, we're talking about romance and you're expecting us to sleep. In the end, Yaomomo persuaded them and we all returned to our rooms. These nightmares are giving me headaches. And how are you, Yumi? I held the snake. After that, I put her back in her enclosure and went to bed. Morning. I woke up with a slight headache. I felt a bump sticking out of my head. What is this? It looks like a horn. I visited Recovery Girl and asked what was going on. So it's a part of my quirk? Yes, sweetie, you're quite a late bloomer, aren't you? Yeah? It's like the source of my fast-forward quirk? Cool. At the exam location, we got out of the bus and saw a large building. I'm getting kind of nervous. I wonder what they're gonna make us do. What if I can't get my license? Mineta said. If you can pass this test and get your provisional licenses, Then you know these novice eggs will hatch into chicks. There are so many students from all over Japan. I'll have to be cautious. Most of them probably already know my quirk and stuff. After the whole greeting and stuff, the exam finally started. Okay, then let's do this exam thing. I'm from the Hero Public Safety Commission and I've been tired lately and I haven't gotten much rest. We're too short-staffed, I'm so tired. He continued explaining the exam. Only less than 1% will pass. Okay, stay calm, you need to stay focused. You need to figure out how you're going to pass this exam. Maybe I should go on my own. The big space opened like a box and the facility looked similar to the USJ but way bigger. Use your quirk and do your best, or not. Wow, so much enthusiasm. Izuku came with a plan to work together with the rest of the class. Sorry Izuku, I'm going on my own. I left the group. I headed towards an urban area. Okay, maybe I could use my fast forward in combination. Or maybe I could just fast forward the targets of people to the time it gets hit. No, too risky, I don't want to accidentally lose control. But I can fast forward my ball, it'll be too fast to notice. Yeah, I can try that, and if that doesn't work out I can always just use my other quirk. I moved around looking for an opponent and used the time to gather light. And I found a group. Oh, you became second at the sports festival. Hono, right? Whatever, I used a combination of my quirks to get hot quick. The metal wall started moving and began flying towards me. I instantly made an extra shield around me. The flames showed a blue appearance as I was holding the shield. After the attack, molten metal was laying around me like a puddle. The heat coming off of it gave me a little push. I created high walls of my white flames and closed it. The group looked around them in amazement. I immediately attacked. Fiery prison, I managed to get the fire to such a low temperature they weren't hurt that badly. The group was stuck now. Ow. Oh, sorry. I'll hurry up. I kept my distance and aimed my ball at the targets. The horn on my head started glowing and my hair floated a little. The targets were hit. I made all of the fire and structures I made collapse. That worked. My targets turned blue and I headed to the anteroom and just sat on one of the seats. I wasn't in there for a while and Shoto entered the room too. Hey Shoto. Over here. He walked calmly and sat next to me. You passed the exam too? Yeah, of course, why else would I be here? Why are the others taking so long? Yaoyorozu, Su, Shoji, and Jiro arrived. After talking a little about the rest of the class and the exam, some of the others arrived too. I walked towards the table with food and enjoyed some needed snacks. Oh hey Bakugou. I arrived earlier than you, huh? Shut up, Dite, he said way more calmingly than normal. I returned to Shoto and Izuku. Looks like only 12 of us have passed, so 8 more to go, and there are only 18 spots left, Yamomo said. And at the last minute, our whole class passed the exam. Okay, for the 100 people who passed the test, please watch closely. All our eyes watch the large board. There's only one more round in the exam. Your task is simple. Simply rescue the bystanders under the rubble. We're doing rescue? This should go fine. In the second test, I headed towards the closest urban area. I found a bystander in the rubble. Are you okay? Can you stand? The actor looked like a child and was covered in fake blood. I can't. That's fine, I'll help you get to safety. I picked him up and took off. I looked around and found the first aid station. I landed smoothly and handed the boy over. You're safe now. I quickly took off to find other victims under the rubble. Is that Shoto and Tsu? I landed next to the river. Hey, can I help? Yeah, I'm gathering firewood. He might need to warm up after getting out of the river. On it. I gathered some firewood and placed it next to his. Okay, done. Tsu got the boy out of the cold water. With her long tongue wrapped around him, she jumped out of the river. Hey, are you cold? Shoto lit the fire. Weiss, here will help you. After that I put the fire out and Shoto carried the boy. Suddenly large explosions emerged. Explosions? What? Do they have faux villains too? A villain has completed a large-scale attack. Oh, they do. The villains instantly spread around the area. I'll hold them off, Shoto said. I'll bring the boy back to safety, Ribbit, Su said. I watched as the villains came closer. So it's Gang Orca? I'll help you, Shoto. We ran towards the scene. He used his ice side and trapped some of the villains. As for me, I trapped some of them so they couldn't go anywhere. I'm gonna blow you, evildoers, away. It's that guy from Shiketsu High. I helped the victims and wounded get away. There was a strong cold breeze. I ran and looked back at the scene. These boys aren't getting along very well, huh? I was finished getting the injured safe. Now let's help Shoto. I flew over and I felt his flames from here. There are still villains here. I'll take them out. I made a straight beam of my compressed flames and used it like a WHP. Flaming WHP, yay, new special move. Still have to rethink the name though. I took out like 30 at once. If I improve it, it could be even better. The cyclone disappeared and I immediately flew there to help them. Izuku kicked him in the arm and I swooped in and used my fire at his legs. The exam was over. Huh. I got back on my feet again. I ran towards Shoto to help him up. Hey, are you okay? He started to move little by little. I'm fine. No, you're not. Here, let me help. The horn on my head glowed as I used my quirk on Shoto. I helped him stand up, thanks. No problem, I smiled as we returned to the changing rooms. I stood next to Uraraka as they revealed the list with the people who passed the exam. I searched for my name on the long list, found it. I passed the exam. I looked for my classmates' names on the list. Ochako, you passed the exam, I'm so happy. I hugged her tightly. Okay, you can let me go. You'll suffocate me. I let go of her. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just very happy for you. I turned to Izuku. Izuku, you passed the exam too. Yeah. Ak, I'm so happy for you. I pulled him into a hug. I turned to Shoto and read the list again. He failed the exam. I walked over to him as someone from Shiketsu bowed to him and hit his head on the ground. I'm sorry, it's my fault you didn't pass the licensing exam. My focus was too narrow-minded, forgive me. Maybe I should leave him to this. They handed out our scores. I scored 95%. That's 1% higher than Yaomomo. We returned to the dorms after. Later. I stared at the ceiling of my room and reflected on what happened recently. I got out of the league. I've been put on Shigaraki's kill list. All for one fought All Might. And someone will try and take the place. All for one left. A new wave of crime and villains. What if that fight never happened? What if we wouldn't have been kidnapped by the league? What if I didn't act like a coward and agreed on becoming a villain? If I just handled the situation differently, maybe all of this hadn't happened and All Might would still have won for all. This is kind of my fault. I was the one who caused trouble by planning the USJ attack. I was the one who got my friends in life-threatening situations. I messed up bad. I'm not even supposed to get in UA. I don't belong here, do I? What am I thinking? I'll need a positive mindset if I'll still want to achieve my goals. I'll need to work past this. This already happened in the past. I'll have to focus on what's going to happen next. I can't just give up, can I? I'll also have to work more on my fast-forward quirk. I don't want to accidentally fast-forward someone's life to the end, not again. Not like I accidentally killed someone, more like I accidentally killed a bird? It was an accident. I was practicing my quirk on some trees and a bird flew by and just dropped dead. I tried healing her, but it wouldn't work. I couldn't bring her back from the dead, and I realized this could have gone worse if I'd used this quirk on a person. I don't even want to think about it. I could turn someone in a skeleton in like what? 2 seconds? That doesn't sound very heroic. The point is I have to be careful. I want to be someone people can look up to. Someone that can protect others and save them. I don't want them to experience things as I did. I should get some sleep. I closed my eyes and relaxed my body. The black void was everywhere and I was alone. I looked around to search for anybody. Hello? Anybody here? H-ha? Said the young girl. Oh, hello. Oh, you're the girl from my past dreams? No, you're the lady from my dreams. We both stared at each other in confusion. Wait, if this is a dream, how come I haven't woke up yet? What's your name? I kneeled and looked at her cute face with a smile. Eri, she looked a little shy. Nice to meet you, Eri. My name is Akai. Akai? Yeah, that's my name. She looked at my horn, I looked at hers. Hey, look, we match. I pointed at my horn and hers. We do, she said. There's something wrong with this little girl, but how do I know if this is even real? I pinched myself, but I wouldn't wake up. I felt it. Is this real? This normally works, right? I felt a candy in my pocket that I forgot about. Hey, Eri, do you want a candy? Candy? What's candy? What this kid doesn't know what candy is it's a sweet edible thing that tastes sweet with lots of different flavors, and it'll probably be one of your favorite things to eat. There was an apple on the candy wrapper, so I assumed it had apple flavor. She inspected the candy and took it out of the wrapper, like this, she asked doubtingly. Yes, you're doing it completely right. She put the candy in her mouth as her frown was slowly replaced with a smile. It melted my heart. Do you like it? This is so good. I knew you liked it, I said. And I suddenly fell through the floor. Air was gone and the liquid I was drowning in was too thick to move in and I couldn't see the place we were in anymore. I was outside? In front of me a 5-story building. Where am I now? I said. I thought again, this is still a dream that I do know. But why aren't I waking up yet? If you realize you're in a dream, you wake up, right? This all feels so real it's scary. I got closer to the building and just took a look through the window. This place is an agency? I've never seen this agency before. Is my dream trying to tell me something? Nah, that's a little too crazy. I could see the address. As soon as I wake up I can just Google this place, I said to myself. The whole thing slowly faded to black again. Next morning, I woke up with a slight headache and face-bombed. Soon I noticed the horn on my head had grown 2 more centimeters. What? How is this thing growing so fast? Or am I speeding it up with my quirk? If that's the case, my quirk is activating itself. Alright, I have school. I stood up, stretched my arms and yawned. I searched my pocket and the candy I forgot about that was in there was gone. Okay, but that's scary. How's that possible? I decided to leave it for some other time to think about it, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. The things I thought about yesterday night came back to me. I remembered the dream very clearly. I searched for the unknown address and found a hero agency. How did this place appear in my dream? I continued my morning routine and walked to school with Achiko. We had an assembly outside and Principal Nizu was giving a speech. Every student of Yuri was present except for Izuku and Bakugou. I heard they got in a fight. Too bad they're going to miss out on stuff. After the speech, we returned to our classrooms. Back in the classroom. Okay, starting today we'll resume our regular classes and training schedule. I know a lot has happened recently, however, you need to switch gears and focus on your school. Mr. Aizawa said. Excuse me, sir, can I ask you a question? What were those things the principal was talking about during the opening ceremony? I've never heard the term hero work studies before, Tsu asked. I know, right, that had me pretty confused too, Tsuro said. I was planning to talk more about those at a later date, but I guess telling you now is more logical, he said. I wonder where this is going. To put it simply, it's work outside of class, like the internships you did with the pro-hero agencies before, only closer to the real thing. After explaining, Present Mike entered the classroom to teach us English. Later, back at the dorms, everyone was complaining about English and what we needed to study and how hard it was, and others were talking about the work studies. Bakugou and Izuku were cleaning and I went over to help him. Hey, Izuku, need a hand? I asked, smiling. Oh yeah, I could use some help, thanks Akai. We were walking to dump the trash and Izuku meanwhile was muttering about something. Huh? Trash, am I right? Said a face in the wall. What, who is that? I said, questioning why I was seeing a face in the wall. Izuku froze and the person stuck his hand through the wall too. Is this guy phasing through the wall or something? Yeah, Izuku said. The face disappeared. That was weird, I said to Izuku. What was that? He asked. The face reappeared through the ground. Izuku screamed and had a frightened look on his face. So you must be that excitable first year, aren't you? Huh, I bet that was a freaky surprise for ya. I'm sorry about that. I do admit I popped up here because I thought you'd be shocked though. Izuku backed off a little. What in the world are you? Huh, not a bad question there, my friend. I admit sometimes I even weird myself out, but don't worry about that, you're gonna find out soon enough, the face said. Is he a third year? After a few words he left. Let's just continue with what we were doing, I said. Oh yeah. After that, back in the dorms. I wonder where Shoto is, maybe we could hang out or something. I headed to the kitchen and made myself some cold soba. The next thing that walked past me was a hungry Shoto. I giggled. You want some? Yes, he said, looking at the soba. I was planning on watching a movie in my room with the soba, and since you want it too, you could join me. Is this bribery? Maybe, I said. Okay, I'll join you, Jay. I said, We took the soba and headed to my room. We watched a Disney movie and slurped soba. When did you learn to make soba? He asked. Experience, I replied and slurped my soba. Do you like it? I asked. He nodded and continued slurping his soba. The movie came to an end, so did the day. I fell asleep while watching and Shoto put me in my bed. He took bowls and stuff left over from the soba and left the room. Next day, everyone was just doing basic training. This is a little boring. Maybe I could spar with someone. I asked Mr. Aizawa if I was allowed to. Yeah, sure, he said, and he turned into a caterpillar. Okay, now I only have to find someone. Oh, I could with Achiko. Hey, Achiko, want to spar? You want to fight me? She asked. Yes, of course, but it's gonna be a quirkless fight. She was relieved. Okay, let's go over there. We walked to a space in the facility. I did some stretches. You ready? I said, yup, she said. Okay, here I come. I said and ran towards here at an incredible speed. I placed my leg behind her and pushed her backward. She held on to me. I loosened her grip on me and distracted her from my arm by pulling a knife out of my pocket. She was about to do the gunhead throw on me, but I punched her in the gut. I was now holding a knife in both of my hands. Hey, that's not fair, I don't have one, she said. Okay, if you want to make it fair, I threw one of my knives at her and she caught it. Why did you throw it? You said you wanted it to be fair, I said. We continued the fight, and I managed to push her to the ground and stop her from getting up. My knife was close to her throat. Hey, Akai, we can stop now. I shook myself out of it and dropped the knife. Oh, I'm sorry, maybe I was a little too serious. She handed the knife back. Where did you even get these knives from? We only have our PDA uniforms, right? I maybe have some places where I hid knives. You know, for emergencies. She gave me a scared look. I pretend I did not hear that. Hey, before you continue training, at least let me heal you. There's no need to dash. My horn glowed. Thanks, Akai. She only had a few shallow cuts, but I want to heal them. I was the one who cut her and I should heal her too because I can. We continued the training. 2 days later. Now since Midoriya returned, we can talk more about the work studies. Go ahead and come in. The big three entered the room as Izuku and I realized who the face was. I knew it was a third year, but what's his quirk? He can phase through solid objects? You may know them as the big three, Mr. Aizawa said. He's a member of the big three? That means he's probably highly skilled and strong. Wow, this is so cool. Mr. Aizawa suggested Amajiki to introduce himself first, but that didn't go very well. This is our kitten Tamaki Amajiki, and hi, my name is Nijire Hado. I'm supposed to talk about work studies. You first years have a really exciting time in front of you. Hey, wait, hold on, why are you wearing a mask? Is it because you're feeling sick? Oh wow, and you must be Todoroki, am I right? Yeah, how did you get that burn on your face? That's none dash. Maybe we should dash. We were cut off again. Hey Hono, if your horn breaks off, do you think you'll grow a new one? Hey, Mineta, are those ball your hair or not? I don't get it. Oh, Azui, you're a tree frog, not a gross toad, right? She does like to ask questions, doesn't she? Mirio stepped in and suggested to fight the whole class. I don't know what they're trying to say. We put on our PDA uniforms and headed to Gym Gamma. Is he for real? Mirio was doing stretches and preparing to fight all of us. I can't underestimate him. After all, he's a member of the Big Three and a third year. Izuku tried to hit him first, but his kick passed right through him. Is that his quirk? He took out half of our class almost in an instant. Power, he shouted. We were all shook. I prepared myself. He came charging again and I observed him. He got everyone and I was the last one standing. Just as he was about to hit me, something happened. Everything was standing still or moving in slow motion. What the? Did I slow everything down or am I speeding myself up? I focused back on the fight. His fist was getting closer. I stepped out of the way. If I am this fast, he won't be able to see me move, right? My horn was glowing. I punched him in the face, still in slow motion. And I deactivated my quirk. Everyone who was still standing was surprised I managed to hit him. I wasn't focusing and he tried again, only this time he managed to get a hit. I used my quirk and everything became slow motion again. I coughed and healed again. I hit Mirio a few times and now I focused on gathering light to make myself burning. Even if he tried to land a hit on me, he'd burn his skin. I returned to normal speed and Mirio was the one on the floor this time. Hado, Amajiki, Shoto, Mr. Aizawa, and the ones recovering were shocked. Mirio quickly stood up again. Impressive, he said. He got under the floor. I immediately turned fast again and started to feel a slight headache. I haven't been able to do this before. Is this because of the size of my horn? I questioned myself. Wait, I'm in a fight. I decided to use my firefold quirk this time and covered myself in burning hot solid flames. The moment they turned solid, they were still spiky. I got this idea a little from Kirishima. I made myself faster but not as fast as before, everyone around me and everything went slow but not as slow as before. At this point, I won't get as bad of a headache, but I'm still fast. They can see me move, but I doubt it. I can heal him after this is over, right? I created small daggers and made small cuts in his arms. I got back in normal time and it almost looked like I was going to win. I went back to that fast state, and when I tried to hit him, my hand got through him. I backed off and made a spike. The time returned to normal and Mirio was bleeding a little. Maybe I should make it a fair fight, I said. I honestly didn't expect the fight to go like this. I can't capture him because he'll just pass through it. I'll have to knock him out or something. I need to do something unpredictable or else he'll see me coming this time. I ran towards him, so did he. When I was approaching him, I tried sliding over the floor to stab his leg or something. But I may have seen something I wasn't supposed to. I was unfocused and crashed in the wall. He hasn't put a scratch on me, but I feel like I want to quit this fight. Okay, I give up. I covered my eyes. If you say so, he said. He put on his breathes again and I healed his cuts. My horn glowed and Mirio's cuts healed within a second. I helped the others up and healed them a little too. Hey Akai, doesn't healing everyone exhaust you? Izuku asked. Well, it does, but that doesn't stop me, right? That Mirio guy is awesome. I wonder how he became this good. I can't skip this headache, it's the only thing holding me back. I could skip my headache earlier, why can't I now? Little later. I tried to make it so you couldn't see my willy, sorry if you got a peek. But anyway, that's a taste of what it's like to fight me. We all just got punched in the stomach without ever knowing what was going on. I said. The whole class was clutching their stomach. Yeah, so what do you think? Isn't my quirk strong? Yeah, it's too strong. Oh, I know what his quirk is. Hey, can I say it? It's permeation. Cool, right? She's so excited, she seems so adorable. Yup, I've got a sweet quirk that's called permeation. What you guys thought of a warp was, he explained his quirk. We thanked them and head back to class. Back in the dorms. I plopped on my bed. I do feel exhausted. The only pain I can't heal is the backlash of my quirk. I'll have to make sure I'm not overusing it. I had nothing to do, so I decided to cook something for myself, but I maybe ended up making food for the whole class? At first, I was just making one dish for me, But Shoto told the others that I could cook, and so they found me in the kitchen. I had finished my cold soba and was about to take a bite. What? I'm trying to eat, I said, annoyed. Could we have some too? Mina, Kaminari, Siro, and Kirishima asked. I feel like I can't refuse. Okay, fine. They all cheered and watched me cook. Sato approached me. Hey, can I help you with the sweets? Oh, sure. After an hour or so the feast was done. The rest of the class joined too, and in half of the preparation time, everything was gone. What was left over were empty bowls and plates. That was so good, Mina said. I wish I could eat like this every day. Kaminari said. This food sure was delicious. Sato and Hono, thank you for your hard work, Ida said. It's no problem. We had fun making the food. I even learned a few things from Sato. I said. That cake is magical, the girls said. Shoto helped me clean and do the dishes. Mina approached me. Hey Akai, will you join us with Truth or Dare? Of course I will. After I'm done, we finished cleaning and I joined the remaining that stayed. Okay, now everyone is here, we can start. Mina said, throwing her hands in the air. Akai, Truth or Dare? Truth, could you tell us about your scars? Mina asked curiously. I've known them for a while now, they should know. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, Tsu said. I insisted. No, I've known you all for a while, you all deserve to know. They were quiet now. Everyone was present except for Bakugou and Tokoyami. I put my hair to my side to expose a part from the burn scar. The people that didn't know about it gasped. Shoto knew my parents died in the accident, but that's it. I was only 4 years old. I don't remember it very clearly. But I still remember a part of what happened. Parents and I were in a building. I don't remember what kind of building or where it was. But all I remember was that we weren't the only people in the building and there was a fire. It was already late and I woke up from the sound of screams and the smell of smoke. I was looking for my mom but I couldn't find her. I was trapped in the fire but found my mom. I ran towards her but I was pushed away by a large piece of rubble. I got up and ran towards her again. When I reached her, she wasn't alive anymore. When I stayed with her, the fire reached me. I was burning but somehow I stayed alive. I was the only survivor. Help came too late and I was led somewhere else. Everyone was shocked by my story. They all stared at me. Is something wrong? I asked. I'm sorry, Izuku said. No, you don't have to say that. It already happened. We can't do anything about it, right? Did I say something wrong? When I asked about your scars, I wasn't expecting that, Mina said. It's fine, really. At least now I don't have to cover my scars to avoid questions, I said, smiling. They weren't looking very happy after hearing my story. We moved on, and the atmosphere changed. I could go to sleep with a better feeling. Before I could sleep, I decided to do some more research about the agency. I just need a little more information. I searched on the deep web. That's what I'm looking for. It's the hero agency of Sir Night Eye, a pro hero and ex-psychic of All Might. I read the names: Centipede, Bubble Girl, Lemillion. I read the real names. It's Mirio. This agency sure got him far. I want to go too now. I yawned and closed my laptop. I saw some more apple candies. I put a few of them in my pocket and fell asleep. To my surprise, I woke up in my room. Eri, the little girl, was looking at the plants in my room. Akai? I walked to her and gave her a comforting hug. I'm so happy to see you. It took her a while to react. Hey, I've got some more candies if you want some, she nodded, and I gave her a handful of sweets. I hope you'll enjoy them. She looked at the sweets with sparkles in her eyes. So who is that guy with the bird mask? Is he bothering you? I was already acting protective. It felt like Eri was my little sister I had known for years. She was silent. She pulled a little on the bandage that was covering her arm. Geez, she's covered in bandages. What did she go through? She had a scared look on her face. The relation between her and him is wrong. I comforted her. Okay, I'm here. I promise you if I'll ever find you, I'll save you from whatever is hurting you. Tears rolled down her face. My horn bumped into hers and I apologized. Oh, I'm sorry. I can be so clumsy sometimes. Her horn grew as mine shrank. A giant wave crashed down on me and covered me in the deep ocean. I opened my eyes and looked down. I could see a dead Izuku. I screamed as I drowned in the water, unable to reach the surface. I woke up gasping. Tears were streaming down my face. That wasn't real, right? I wiped the tears away and checked my pocket. Empty. She took the sweets. I am confused. Am I going crazy? I couldn't get back to sleep and decided to just do a little more research. I eventually fell asleep again. Next morning, I woke up and did my morning routine. As I walked to Yumi's enclosure, I noticed she was gone again. Not again. I continued and decided to search for Yumi later, not caring about a poisonous snake in the dorms. A journalist had come to you today. They want a feature on our class? The day went by as normal, training and school stuff, nothing special. Sometimes a picture was taken, but that's it. It was getting time for some food, so I prepared dinner for everybody. When cooking, I thought about Yumi again. Maybe I could borrow Koda. Oh, I guess someone found Yumi. I followed the sound of the screaming and got to Mina's room. Yumi was on her bed. I rushed and picked Yumi up. I'm sorry about that. I'll take her with me now. I rushed back to my enclosure and put her in it again. Now don't escape again, got it? I said to the snake. Suddenly the snake turned into a cat. Meow. What? Oh, I forgot Yumi has a quirk. I got her out of the enclosure again and put her on the floor. She followed me through the halls and I continued cooking dinner. Hey, Yaomomo, tell everyone dinner's ready. Already doing that, she said. I finished cooking and Shoto came to help me put the food on the table. Oh, thank you, I said with a slightly nervous tone. It's fine. He looked at the cat that was purring and rubbing its head against my leg. Since when do you have a cat? He asked, confused. Oh, I forgot to tell you. This is Yumi. She can shapeshift into some other animals. It's her quirk. And she's very smart too. I pet her head. She's the snake? Yes, he petted the white cat. Her fur was as soft as snow and her eyes were the same colors as Shoto. Meow, she liked his hand. She likes you, I said. I giggled as Uraraka and Izuku brought as some meat buns from All Might. Everyone joined the table and Yumi enjoyed the attention. These meat buns are delicious. Uraraka said meanwhile Shoto was slurping the soba I made him. This shrimp tempura is so good, Mina said. I'm glad you like my food. After dinner I headed back to my dorm. Maybe I could ask Mirio to introduce me to Sir Night-Eye? I mean, I can just search for his number. I found his number and send him a message. Me? Hello Mirio. Could you maybe introduce me to Sir Night-Eye, please? It's for the work studies thing. Mirio, oh of course I can. But how did you get my number? I started to panic. Me thank you. And I asked someone so I could contact you. Okay, that's done. I cuddled with Yumi and fell asleep with her. Time skipped to the weekend. I heard from Mirio that Izuku was going too. It kind of makes sense. I prepared myself for the ride and put on my uniform. I asked Achiko to watch over Yumi while I was gone. I hope she doesn't turn into something that scares her. I took my stuff and put them in my backpack. I swung it over my shoulder and headed out. I took the train and bumped into Izuku there again. Oh hey Izuku, you're here. Took you long enough. Hakai, are you going to Sir Night-Eye's agency too? That only means mutter. Oh god, what did I start? I put on my headphones and listened to some music on the train. At Sir Night-Eye's agency, about an hour later. The building looks exactly the same as in my dream. Well, this is it, Sir Night-Eye's agency, Mirio said. Izuku was frozen. Easy man, take a breath. Try to loosen up, but not too loose, 'cause you know. Sir is actually a pretty strict guy. Wow, this building looks exactly like what I saw. The two looked at me questioningly. It's nothing. We entered the building and walked to his office. Mirio was talking about how we should try and make him laugh, so I thought of one of the happiest memories I remember and out a smile on my face. We opened the door. I brought that first-year dude and that girl I mentioned yesterday. I saw Bubble Girl getting tickled by some kind of machine. What kind of place is this? Did I make the right choice? See, this is how energetic you can be, he said. Mirio, what's happening? I asked. That's his sidekick, Bubble Girl. I guess she didn't make him laugh. He looked at us with an intense glare. I tried looking as approachable and bright as I could be. Izuku was doing something else. I'm Izuku Midoriya, he said in an All Might impression. Oh help, this doesn't look like it's going to end well. What is this, boy? Are you ridiculing All Might? Oh god. The nerve, what are you doing with your face? Is this a joke to you? Sir Knight, I said. Oh god, this isn't going very well. No, I guess not, he said, still in his All Might impression. All Might's wrinkles aren't like this at all, you fool. He came closer to take a look at Izuku's face. I guess at least there's nothing wrong with what I did. Wait, I didn't do anything yet. Maybe I should just wait for a little. I don't care one bit, so much All Might fanboying. Now I see you were just testing me. I'm just going to stay quiet till I find the right moment. After their All Might conversation, he looked at me again. Hello, my name is Akai Hono. You probably heard from Mirio. He kept staring. And why did you go to my agency? He asked in a monotone. Well, I was interested in how Mirio became so skilled and tried to figure it out where it started. I can't just tell them I came here because of that crazy dream. That's weird. I searched and ended up with this place, so I believe I can become a great hero like Mirio if I go here too. He doesn't seem offended or anything, so I assume I did okay. I smiled and stared back at him. We pulled out our contracts and gave them to Sir. He explained the pros and cons of the work study and was holding the seal in his hand. He pressed it on the contract and it was official. When he raised his hand to put a mark on Izuku's contract, he refused for some reason, and he had to go through a challenge to get the seal. The three of you wait outside. He pointed at me, Mirio and Bubble Girl. After Izuku got accepted too, we returned to you. Wow, that went easier than I expected. I stood next to Shoto and he put his arm over my shoulder. My face felt hot. Hey Torch, icy hot is your new boyfriend, huh? I was going to go on fire if he continues. I was finally on fire, but Shoto put it out with his right side. Bakugou left to go to his room. Oh, someone's jealous, Mina said. Stop it, Mina, I said, still red. Shoto picked me up like a princess. What are you doing? I asked him. He stared at me. You're appealing. I lost it. He placed me on a seat and I ran to my room. Did I say something wrong? Shoto asked the others. So manly, Kirishima said with a tear in his eye. I returned to my dorm and I found Yumi. This time she was transformed into a dog, Shiba Inu. Next day at the agency. Today we'll be doing patrol and surveillance. We'll split up into 2 teams. I'll be with Bubble Girl and Mirio. You will be with Midoriya and Hono. Surveillance? The Night Eye Agency is currently working on a secret investigation, Bubble Girl said. The Shai Hasaikai is a small organized crime. Kai Chisaki, he showed the picture. I was surprised and in shock as I recognized the man in the picture. Be careful not to arouse any suspicion. Yes, sir. We walked on the streets and we got recognized by some strangers. Hey, look, heroes. It's the girl from the U.A Sports Festival. Hey, we forgot something, our hero names. We should know each other's, right? Mirio said. Oh yeah, totally. I'm Deku. Like Dek? That's weird, I like it, he said. I'm Akai. Nothing too weird about it. Okay, well, I'm Lemillion. For how many people I'll save? You know, can't save 'em all. Interesting. We walked past an empty alley and a little girl bumped into me. I quickly caught her. Oh, I'm sorry. Ieri? Oh, are you okay? Deku asked. She was shaking and looked frightened but recognized my face. Be careful, we don't want to cause trouble to the heroes, the man with the plague mask said. I pulled her into a comforting hug. I hope you forgive my daughter, Hero. I don't know what to do with her. Hoopsie daisy, looks like that darn mask came off again. I'm so sorry about that, it was our fault too. Izuku was looking really nervous. Come on, let's go. I'm so sorry, I whispered in her ear. I just can't save her now. I'll come to get you later, okay? I whispered. I let go but she held on to me and Izuku. Please don't go, she was so scared. It was heartbreaking. Excuse me, sir, but your daughter seems scared. Suspicion. Deku. Let go of Eri, I whispered. She has bandages all over. Those are just of playing rough, right? Eri is an exceptionally clumsy girl. Does that seem like it's normal to you? Izuku was acting protectively over Eri. He took us into the dark alley. Izuku was carrying Eri while I was holding her hand. He was about to take off his glove and Eri flinched. She let go of my hand and jumped out of Izuku's arms to return to overhaul. Wait, we're not going after them, didn't you notice? For now, let's report to Sir, Mirio said. Izuku took off his mask and it began raining. We met up with Bubble Girl and Sir again. Oh, I forgot, sir, we got lucky at least a little. Our brief encounter yielded some brief intel. Chisaki, he has a daughter. A daughter? There is it. A little girl with her arms all covered in bandages. I don't know anything else about her, but she was asking for help. Hey Akai, how did you know her name? You knew her name when he hadn't called her yet? Oh God. Well, I may have met her before. How am I going to tell them I met her in my dream? When? How? Mirio asked. It may sound stupid, but I knew her from my dreams. And she did too. It was quiet for a moment. The 3 of you should head to the office for today. Bubble Girl, let's go. Yes, sir, and the first day of my hero work study ended. Some other day. I finally got called for the work studies again, but this time everyone was going to the same place. When we arrived at the agency, the room was filled with pros. Fat Gum was talking, that it contained human blood and cells. I was shocked and thoughts rushed through my head. Chisaki has a daughter named Eri. There are no reports from her Arch. But when Mirio, Midoriya, and Hono encountered her, they noticed there were bandages wrapped around her arms and legs. I felt crushed. Poor Eri is going through so much. I said I was going to save her. But I haven't yet. Midoriya was bearing to take the risk of taking her then, and Mirio and Hono chose to wait for another opportunity where success will be more likely. I assure you nobody more in this room is more frustrated than they are. We'll get Eri away from him next time. And we'll protect her, we said. Indeed, that's precisely why we've come here to discuss. We were all sitting at the table explaining what happened that day. Wow, that's frustrating, Achiko said. My ringtone sounded. Oh sorry, I'm leaving for a sec. I left the table and answered the phone. Hello, Dad? There was a moment of silence. This is your fault. I was confused. What had happened? What? Did something happen? I asked worriedly. Another voice sounded. Hello, is this the daughter of Akai Hono? Yes? I'm sorry to tell you, but your mother was hurt in an accident. Could this day go any worse? How is she? She hasn't woken up in a while. We don't know when she'll wake up. I tried to hold back my tears. Okay, thank you for telling me. I almost dropped my phone. Am I going to lose everyone? When I was heading back to the rest, I heard what Mr. Aizawa was saying. Everyone looked happy again. I sat down. Hey Akai, you heard that? Tsu said, yeah, I did, I said with no expression. Hey Akai, are you okay? Achiko asked. I tell you later, I said. I led her to my room and we sat down on my bed. I looked down with tears of sadness in my eyes. So I got a call about my mom. Uraraka hugged me and her shoulder was getting covered in my tears. She's in a coma. I sobbed louder and my face was resting on her shoulder. She comforted me and didn't let go of the hug. I'm sorry, she said. Yumi wondered why I was sad. It's okay, Yumi. She jumped on us and liked my face. Nayumi. Achiko giggled as she enjoyed my suffering. At lunch, some days later, I was at lunch with Ida, Shoto, and Izuku. You're not gonna eat? Shoto asked Izuku. Of course I am. Here, see? Are you alright? Ida asked. You've both started acting edgy and depressed ever since the work studies started, Shoto said. I looked at Izuku. Am I really? He said in a nervous tone. Was I acting sad and everything? Hey, if you ever want to talk or anything, just let me know. We're friends, right? Izuku started sobbing. So dear, Ida said, panicking. He wiped his tears away. I'm sorry, it's nothing. Heroes aren't supposed to cry. I figured sometimes they need to, don't they? Here, have some of my soba. I got extra beef stew, and I have some shrimp tempura, I added. Thanks, you guys. Izuku must feel terrible too. 2 days later. I wasn't really planning on sleeping and looked at my phone. I got to the common area and saw the others there too. Did they found Eri? I'm going to save her this time. I'll make sure it'll happen. Mirio was energetic and happy again. Yeah. I had put on my hero costume in the changing room. Now then, let's begin. At the Yakuza headquarters. I watched as Ryukyu transformed into a dragon. Now we have to head inside. You heard her. Everyone move. Come on. We stormed in. We've got this, don't we? Mirio said, yes. We entered the building. Hate to just barge in like this, but we're kind of in a hurry. We stopped running at a vase with flowers. This is it. A secret door. We ran down the stairs and the path was blocked with a wall. He's an idiot if he thinks that wall will stop us. Kirishima shouted. He and Izuku made a large hole in the wall. We walked through it, but something weird was happening. The walls and everything started moving and made us lose balance. I'm going ahead. Mirio ran through the wall. Speed is what matters now. The floor beneath me was gone and I immediately used my fire to land softly. Where are we now? I asked. Somewhere even farther from the target. Those guys are really screwing with us, Rocklock said. 3 villains were waiting for us and Eraserhead erased their quirks. Amajiki's anxiety has left. Wondering what else is going to happen. I'm coming, Eri. We kept running and running searching for the girl. The building eventually stopped twisting and moving. Oh, it stopped. Perhaps his true body is nearby, Eraser said. The villain tried to get Eraser out of the fight, but Kirishima and Fat Gum pushed him away. Be careful, Fat. Did he really just call him that? That sounds weird. We need to catch up to Mirio fast. No, again. It's moving. The walls and the floor moved random directions. Rocklock, do something. Sir yelled. He made the walls freeze. Come on, let's go. Watch out. A wall came charging at us. Azure burst. I incinerated the wall before Deku could kick it down. My arm was shaking. I quickly healed it up. The next wall was smashed by Izuku. I stood beside him. He was breathing. I prepared myself for another blow. In no way you're gonna stop us now, he yelled. I sent my flames carefully so I didn't hurt Izuku. The wall had totally disappeared. We were now left in an empty space. The light I've gathered isn't enough, I think. I can't keep up with how much I'm using. It opened up. Izuku said, what are they planning this time? Walls emerged and we have separated again. I was alone with no one beside me. I could see Izuku getting pulled away by Mr. Aizawa. My head felt heavy. I tried to stand up again. Be ready for anything, someone yelled. I have probably hit my head or something. When I got on my feet again I saw someone. Toga? I dodged her attack as she kept trying to cut me with her knife. I landed a hit on her but she melted. Supi, it's one of those copies. She stabbed me with her knife. Don't worry, It'll just be a little cut. She hit me on the head again, and I fell unconscious. Stand back, I've got this wall. Izuku kicked down the wall. Akai, they both stared at the two girls. Hey, this imposter clone just appeared out of nowhere and tried to attack me, be careful. Toga said. I think there are more nearby. My quirk activated itself and started slowly healing my wounds. Hey Izuku, are you okay? Toga asked in my voice. Yeah, we should keep moving, he replied, believing Toga was me. I was slowly waking up. I looked at my stab wound that was fully healed. Himiko, Toga? My sight was still blurry. That's me, your darling in the flesh. You remembered me, huh? I knew what was going on now. She was restrained by Mr. Aizawa's binding cloth. This is as far as you go. I went into the slow-mo mode and Toga was about to stab Mr. Aizawa. My horn glowed and I ran towards her. I pulled her knife out of her hold. I got out of this state and Toga made a quick exit. Akai, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, don't worry. Mr. Aizawa, are you okay? Izuku asked him. I'm fine. And get the other knife. I heard Toga's quirk uses blood somehow. Yes, sir. My head was still feeling heavy. I still feel the blood on my back. The floor moved again. Wich. We were sliding down a sort of tunnel-like thing created by the villain. Whoa, what is happening? I looked for something I could grab on but couldn't find anything. I'll have to keep sliding like this, I guess. We landed on a platform that was still whole. I was using my quirk to heal Rocklock. If we're not doing anything, we're going to be crushed. Catch him. They caught the guy that made everything move. The League betrayed the Yakuza. Interesting. We moved on. I'm positive Eri's bedrooms headed that direction, sir stated. We ran through the halls. I'm going to save Eri. I'm going to save Eri. I'm going to save Eri. Okay, now calm down. Izuku knocked down a wall to reveal a battlefield. Mirio was bleeding and protecting Eri. He isn't using his quirk? It couldn't be. They managed to erase his quirk with the bullet. Izuku landed a direct punch on Overhaul. Get Eri out of here. Behind me. Mirio said, breathing. Everything, all you've done has been for nothing. He slammed his hand on the floor, instantly creating giant spikes. I quickly launched myself upwards. Oh god, I've got to go to Mirio so I can heal him up. I can't fly the whole time. I'll need the energy I saved up. I made a long katana-like weapon out of flames and tried to clear a path. A big explosion emerged from the epicenter of the whole scene. I wasn't close enough to Mirio, so instead, I headed to Izuku. What the he's pulling himself and that other guy apart and merging them? This is so weird. Now heroes, I'll have you return Eri to me, he said in an annoyed tone. Hey Izuku, you okay? I turned my head to see what he was looking at. I'm fine, he said. And now his quirk is gone forever. Oh, I'm going to make him regret that. I formed my hands into fists, with smoke coming off. Chisaki charged at Sir, Eri, and Mirio. We took off and I gave him a taste of my fireball. Izuku tried to hit him with a spike but he caught it with his huge hand. I sent more fire his way with little to no effect. Stand down Akai, I'll deal with him. Sir yelled. You two look out for Lemillion and Eri. Understood, sir, we both said. I warmed up my body and casually melted through the spikes. When I arrived I pulled Eri into a hug. Okay, Lemillion, Eri, how bad are you guys injured? Do you think you can walk? Yeah, Mirio said. I used my quirk to heal some of his injuries, not everything. As much as I'd like to, I'll need to keep some energy left to heal others if necessary. My horn glowed as Mirio's bleeding stopped. Eri stared at my horn. We match, right? I said, smiling at her. I failed. You're sad again and it's my fault, Mirio said with a frown. Come on, let's go. He kicked down a wall. I'm pretty sure this will lead us back. We need to get away from Chisaki. And no, that's enough. I'm so sorry, the little girl broke down to tears. We watched as Sir Night Eye was getting impaled by Chisaki's spikes. Is he gonna survive that? Sir. No. Mirio yelled. Izuku and I rushed in to help. I prepared a compressed blast of blue fire. Take her, get Eri to safety. Mirio nodded. I noticed Izuku was using more of One for All and realized he must be in pain, so I helped him a little and kept on healing him. He looked at me, noticing the aching leaving his body. I nodded. Let's go, I said. Give up, I already told you how this ends. You're all going to die, we won't let that happen. I yelled back. Even if it's already decided, even if it's set in stone. I'll smash that future. Izuku was faster than before and headed for him. I went into my slow-mo state and ran after him. I noticed I was using more of my power. My hair floating as I was jumping from spike to spike. Even in this state things were moving pretty quickly. Dodging isn't a problem anymore, only a slight headache and a cruel germophobic child abuser. All I did was small attacks and healing Izuku, but it was ineffective. I slipped out of slow-mo for just a second to catch my breath, but Izuku was immediately hurt by Chisaki. Being able to put myself back together again doesn't make breaking apart any less, he said. I wasn't too far from him and rushed to help him. Sorry, this will hurt a little, I whispered from behind the rubble. I was too fast to see, it looked like I was teleporting. I pulled the spikes out and healed him up. Someone else about to die because of you. What is he doing? Wait, I recognize this is your fault. The feeling, he's making her feel like it's all her fault. Is that really what you want? This child grew up in this atmosphere, I can't imagine the suffering she's gone through. That's why. We have to save her. The little girl entered the scene again. Wait. It's not. I don't want this, go back, you need to stay with Lemillion Eri. Izuku told her. Eri, it's not your fault, please don't listen to him. I yelled coming out of the rubble. I was feeling very set off right now. Eri, you don't really think they can defeat me, do you? No, I don't, smart girl. So what do you suppose you should do? I'll come back. What is happening? But if I do, I want you to make them all better again. She's putting us above her. Eri, no. Please don't. I yelled at the top of my lungs. Yes, it's so much easier to get hurt yourself rather than watch others get hurt for you. He's a monster. You see? You think you're helping her, but you're really just being cruel. Doesn't. What? Maybe what he said is true. Maybe you think you don't want my help. But I won't let you down, Eri. I'm not letting anyone die. We're going to save you. Exactly at that moment Team Ryukyu got here. Ryukyu, you guys came, Izuku said. Deku? Wait, if you're here, then who's the Deku we just saw? Uravity, look. Knight, take care of him, go on. I need to choose to help Deku or Sir. Wait, I can do both. I got in the slow-mo state and got over to Sir to stop the bleeding and return to Deku. All this healing drained my powers. I was increasing my speed and was next to Deku. Eri was launched in the air. Chisaki, we both screamed, you filthy heroes, screw everything up, she's coming with us. I yelled. I launched myself up in the air reaching for Eri. She had activated her quirk. She held a piece of fabric that was from Lemillion's cape and jumped off the pillar. I kept my distance as I helped Deku get to Eri faster. Eri. I didn't care about losing control for a moment and unleashed the power coming from my horn. I healed Deku's injuries and smiled reassuringly at Eri and Deku. Got you, I won't let you go. Now Eri was with Deku. I felt a little more relieved. The headache turned into a sting and I lost balance. I started falling down. Give her back. Chisaki yelled. The moment I heard that horrible voice again, I restored balance and my flames showed the anger coming off of me. I sent an incredible amount of fire Chisaki's way, making him unable to dodge. I have to protect Eri with my life. I looked down seeing Izuku holding Eri midair trying to dodge Chisaki's attacks. I gave him a nod and kept attacking Chisaki with everything I've got. This situation reminded me of the fire. Memories flooding back in my mind. The tears on my face vaporized. Izuku was suddenly gone. Where did he go? I looked up and saw him. I felt exhausted. Maybe I should know. I won't stop fighting until Eri is safe. When I was out of the building, I felt the sunshine hit my skin. I could charge up again. It seems like Eri doesn't know how to use her power. I'm afraid she'll lose control. I was finally on the same height as Izuku. Deku, be careful. Eri still doesn't know how to use her quirk. Eri was rewinding all the harm he was getting. I was flying right next to Eri as she was opening her eyes again. I gave her a warm smile. We landed on the ground again. My legs felt weak, but the closer I got to Eri, the better I felt. Is this your power or quirk? Are you a healer? Sparkles were coming off our horns as Izuku felt unusual pain. What's happening? It's like my body is being pulled apart from the inside, he said. Here, I said. I used my fast forward on him while Eri was using her rewind quirk. Because of this, I balanced it out. She has no control of hers Chisaki. Let me burn him to a crisp, I'm not even strong enough to fly. I'll have to wait till I can again. I was pushed away by an attack and hit the ground again. My body hurt like hell and I couldn't heal it, I was too exhausted. Come on, get up. My body wouldn't move. No, don't close your eyes yet. I felt pain and coughed up blood. I'm not as good as Recovery Girl. I can heal flesh wounds, but broken bones are a lot harder and different. It's up to me to cure humanity. I can't let him kill them. I crawled and tried to heal everything I could. I turned the energy I got from the light to strength. I tried to get on my feet again. It was hard. I saw Izuku breaking himself, trying to match the speed of her rewinding. I could see him in the sky. He's too far up, I can't reach him. I'm sorry, I feel so useless. I watched as Izuku was beating Chisaki up. That's what you get, I quietly said to myself. Wait, he's using 100%. I felt a strong wind and finally got up. I gathered all the light I could and propelled myself with one big blast. I could see Chisaki on the ground. I slowly landed too. I was now behind him, standing on my feet. Hey Izuku, you okay? Yeah, hey Eri, are you who? Eri was releasing an unbelievable amount of power. She has zero control. He fell to his knees. No one's getting rewinded today. I too used my power, but only this time I had to go further. But since my horn was bigger, I could overpower hers. I balanced our quirks, being careful I wasn't losing control either. Hey, why you okay? I asked him. I backed off a little to maintain my control. Eri rewinded Chisaki back to normal. When I tried to balance it, I lost control too, and I made Chisaki lose an arm. What? Was he going to lose an arm? Eri made a comeback and we were now on the same level. We almost looked identical. I need to keep this up. It was extremely hard to keep this power stable at this level. Our quirks finally stopped and we both passed out. We have a lot of seriously injured people here. We need an ambulance now quickly. I wasn't using my quirk to heal myself anymore, so the moment I fell, I hit my head on something. I started bleeding, blood dripped out of my nose. Later, in the hospital, I woke up and felt completely fine. It seems like my quirk did its thing again. Excuse me, ma'am, can I know where Izuku Midoriya is? Oh, that green-haired boy? I can take you there if you want to. Yes, thank you. We walked to the room and I came across Mr. Aizawa. Oh, Mr. Aizawa. He looked at me with a blank expression. We entered the room and Aizawa took us somewhere else. Sir, what about Eri? Izuku asked, still feverish and sleeping fitfully. She's being quarantined for now. I guess that makes sense. Quarantined, really? So does that mean I won't be able to see her? You know they made that call based on your description of what happened there. She's got a dangerous quirk and no control over it. If something provokes her enough to activate it again, I'm the only one who could stop her. You were only able to touch because you were destroying your body faster than she could rewind it, right? Yeah, but Akai managed to stabilize it, right? Hey, I lost control too. I'm not that good. Eri and Hano's quirks are indeed stabilizing each other, and I've also come to tell you what? We had found out Eri is Hano's cousin. What? I have a cousin? A spark of happiness entered my heart. I do. We continued to walk when we arrived in a room with people, including All Might. All Might, and you're here, Recovery Girl, why? I asked All Might to come because Sir always admired him so much. She started sobbing. What had happened? There's nothing we can do, to be honest. It's a miracle he's able to live this long, the nurse said. Wait, he's dying? My healing can't help him either. He's too far gone to save, Recovery Girl said. I'm sorry, but you should prepare yourselves. I don't think he'll live to see tomorrow. I could see Mirio trying to get in, Sir. Togata, don't give up. Please keep fighting, don't die on me. Mirio, oh my, this is too emotional. Tears started rolling down my cheeks. Keep quiet. This is a very serious moment. Don't ruin it. And he, smiling. R.I.P. Night.